love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of the spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hello, Sacramento. It's that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140.
It's time for Allen Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. Going up on a Tuesday, Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. We got Vivecking. We have the Kings, 2 kings of the fourth. What does that mean? Who takes the last shot? More skepticism about the DeMar trade and national media finding ways to disrespect Sacramento, also finding ways to somehow make it about the Lakers. Chris Watkins, how you doing?
Good, man. Yeah. We got, that Gilbert Arenas audio as well. I don't know if you're considering that national media. Or
That's
not.
what I'm not really sure. It's clown media is what it is.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Straight out of Circus de Olay, Soleil, whatever, however you pronounce it.
I like de Olay. I'd open that one.
Yeah. Why not? It's just, it's a complete joke. And, we'll spend minimal time on that,
yes.
But definitely something that we were talking about yesterday and has been at the front of mind for a lot of Kings fans just because it's so wild. And, excited for what's probably going to be a great show. And then we got DeMar DeRozan at 1:00 for his intro press conference. So should be another great day in the office.
It's interesting how the press conferences work because they must be scheduled because these deals didn't all happen on the same day.
Right.
But it seems like all the press conferences are today. Klay Thompson had his press conference. We have a little bit of that sound. DeJounte Murray has his press conference. We have some of that as well. And, of course, as Chris said, 1 p.m. we have DeMar DeRozan. Also, since we're doing that at 1 p.m., I think we're going to do this giveaway at 12:45 as we have.
Let's do 1:15.
1:15. Okay, I didn't know if DeMar would be done. Okay, we'll do 1:15 for Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner, is coming to Sacktown, and we want to get you in the building next Friday for the 38 special experience. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline at 1:15, and let's see. Chris will pick the number to score the pair of tickets to check an unforgettable night of Southern Rock courtesy of Thunder Valley Casino Resort. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com. Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. That's going to be at 1:15. All right, let's just get into it right now. So we're going to play this audio from Vivek Ranadive, who is having some fun with DeMar DeRozan, who was in the Not Like Us video. And there's a lot to break down here. So let's just play the audio and go from there.
So I know, DeMar, that everybody wants you, every team, every city, all the players brag out one thing to do. And nothing like us.
That is going to live forever. And I've been told that this isn't the first time Vivek has done something like this, right? He kind of leans into the bit, and I appreciate a good bit. I don't think it's a bit either, but those are the best bits.
Can I show you guys something?
Sure.
No,
that I
because
made?
Yes.
You could.
Hear you guys something.
Yes.
Can I hear you guys something?
Yes.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Just wait.
They not like us. They nothing like us. You think that they don't let you disrespect Pop?
Yeah.
I think that Oakland
Nothing like us.
Wow.
Great job. With DJ Bedhead is
That's
back.
a DJ Bedhead
Wow.
exclusive.
DJ back.
Yeah.
He'll eat the table.
That's right.
Nothing like it. Let's start here.
Yep.
Hilarious. Some people are saying very similar to when hockey players started doing the dab that now it's dead. Okay. And all right, well, we can go home now. It's over.
Yep. Anybody got
First
that
of all,
time of death?
Let's start here. Did he mispronounce not like us, or did he purposely say they're nothing like us?
I think he probably mispronounced it. I think that he is super unfamiliar with the song and probably knows it only via reference, and that was what he thought it was.
Now let's go here. Whose idea was this?
I think it was his. If I think I know Vivek like I do, I'm pretty sure it was like a
So you're saying he didn't really know the song?
You have this story about how you were like, hey, I got a joke to tell. And then a friend told you like, hey guys, like Allen's got this great joke to tell. That's what I feel like this video was Vivek was like, I have a great video idea.
Yeah.
And then he was like, DeMar, come here and let me do this great video idea. And he was like, please go ahead and film this. This is going to be gold.
Yeah.
And he unintentionally made it's great. It's a great video, but for all the reasons that he probably didn't want or didn't intend.
But look, it's gonna every time the Kings win. Look, they're nothing like us.
It's so simple to me. Like their slogan last year was all in, and they've had what was the
nothing like
I think
us.
nothing like us is going to be their slogan this year. It's just going to be on the back of all their shirts. Hard work pays off. No. It's going to be nothing like us.
And then you do
all year.
The not all caps and then HIN lowercase. Nothing. Like not like us. And just the thing we don't know if
and that's your way of getting around copyright infringement.
That's right.
Probably because it's not
not like us.
It's not that.
Yeah.
It's
this guy's
close.
a graphic designer.
I mean, this guy's who? Me?
Yeah.
Well, that's
like
the
a pretty
genius
good
here.
idea. Yeah.
As somebody who will fire up videos and then never let them see the light of day because they didn't turn out the way that I wanted them to, I appreciate Vivek for just
letting it rip.
Just that's gotta go.
Thing. Volume shooter.
One take Johnny. Let's ride. Let's ride.
And it's a disservice to our radio listeners because if you haven't watched the video, you should watch it because the thing that's really taken off besides the nothing like us is DeMar's laugh, which do you think it's real? It looks like a legitimate.
I think it caught him off guard.
Yeah, I think it caught him off. He clearly did not think the joke was funny, but I think he thought the situation itself was so funny. His face is incredible, and definitely go look at DeMar's
and they're all
face.
memes now. Yeah. When my girl or when my crush says something funny. And you're just laughing out of control. Yeah, so that was great. De'Aaron was in the bill. I'm telling you, man. And I keep saying this because I have not been easy on De'Aaron, but these last couple weeks, he's just doing everything right to me. I mean, he's where he needs to be. He's in this situation as far as the DeMar DeRozan acquisition. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing from De'Aaron Fox. He's going at haters. He's going at Gilbert Arenas on social media. I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing from De'Aaron Fox right now. So I appreciate that. The vibes are immaculate, as the kids say.
They're getting there.
They're at an all-time high. And I just think it's going to continue. Nate, let's get it one more time if people are starting to hop in because it's just too good.
Did you want to get the full clip? Did you want to get the song?
Let's start with the full clip. The song, we'll warm up to the song.
Sorry.
It's a long show.
I'm just in here tighten up Mr. Gilbert Arenas'
Do you have enough bleeps for it?
Yeah, I'm working on. I'm trying to find every bleep I can. So give me 1 second.
So I know DeMar that everybody wants you, every team, every city, all the players. But I got one thing to tell you. And nothing like us.
That is like a cackle. That is
nothing like us.
That is a laugh from your belly. That's a real laugh.
He's smiling before.
That's a real laugh.
Yeah. Well, I think he's just like, where is this going? Where is this going? Because Vivek's setup there is clearly like one that can go. Everybody wanted you. Everybody, the crowd wants you. Every team in the league wants you. And it's like, where is this guy going with this?
Well, you know what? It does remind, because I've been there, right? If any type of hosting, even doing the radio show, but
kind of drunk uncle vibes a little bit from Vivek there.
But when you do KCRA, when we're on there, stuff like that, and you have a line you want to drop.
Oh, yeah.
You're so focused on the line that everything before it doesn't really matter. You don't really rehearse that.
Right.
Because all you want to hit is the line. Right. So you just are blabbing. You just, everybody wanted you. You love basketball, and they're nothing like us. I think he nailed it.
They not like us.
I'm sorry. I'm
you
proud
got to
of
bring it in
it.
sooner, Nate.
Yeah.
You got to listen it to 30 seconds.
Nothing like us.
Okay, that one came quicker. Yeah, they're nothing like us. That's great stuff.
Wow, and it's the inflection there. The nothing like us. Like you see what I did?
This compilation of 2024 with "We did it, we did it." Tatum has
He's got
a couple on his own. Okay.
Can't forget Scream.
Yeah, you got to add that one too. Okay, that was great stuff, and I'm sure that drop will live forever.
Yep.
And you know what? That's probably. I mean, I don't know how if he would feel like he's being memed, but it could definitely be a drop during Kings games. I don't know that he would like it, but every time they win, the beam goes up. If they played Nate's song
just do
with the bag, the shoom, the beam goes up because they have
just a
beam
soundboard
song.
every win. Just soundboarded
every bucket, every emphatic bucket.
That would be incredible.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're incorporated somehow.
They have to.
Kings Entertainment's too good.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
They have to.
Oh
and you were showing me the Stauskas one from 9 years ago.
Nate asked me which one is better, worse, however you want to describe it, between this Nothing Like Us and the infamous Nick Rocks.
I'm going to grab that for us too, so we can do a little comparison.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, this is a close. I mean, if we're doing on the cringe scale, I think it's definitely, we're approaching 8.5 territory, but for me,
that one is worse.
Nick Rocks is a 10 for me.
Yes.
Nick is a full-blown 10. To get a room of adults all over, we'll just say the age of 35, to collectively say on 3, we're going to say this guy rocks. And then when he does,
when's the last time you said something rocks?
Let's run it real quick.
Okay.
Please.
You ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Nick rocks!
And it's the fact that he's the loudest one. Maybe his mic was just turned up louder than
You ready?
anybody else, but come on. I can just
Nick
imagine
rocks.
being in that room being like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
We need a Nick on the team again so we can use that drop.
There we go. Come on.
Nick rocks. Coming up next, we will discuss all things Kings basketball, also Olympic basketball. And yes, we close the book on Gilbert Arenas hating on Sacramento. Stiles Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner, is coming to Sacktown, and we want to get you in the building next Friday for the 38 special experience. Hit up the Post Mike hotline at 1:15. We are airing DeMar DeRozan intro press conference at 1. Hang on, that's going to be great stuff. And then right after that, it's your opportunity to win tickets to see Lou Graham. Okay. Let's get this over with. Yesterday, I put out on social media that we would no longer be talking about Gilbert Arenas on this show. We are going to close the book on Gilbert Arenas and his clownery as we play what he had to say, and then we will react, get your calls, your texts. We'll open up the phone lines, 916-339-1140. Keep it within the lines, FCC airwaves. Keep it within the lines. Even though he doesn't. Shout out Nate, who probably used some weird bleep noises to edit this out. Sack Chat as well, and text line already has some questions for me specifically, as I'm still not a new Sacramentan, but I guess I'm the newest one here. So let's get the audio, let's get to it, and then let's move on.
Mr. Arenas, man, the Kings, man. That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
Yo, somebody said they did same-day shipping. Like when he was at the game, they said they did same-day shipping.
The Amazon Prime. Come on right out. I need to call DeMar, man. Like, don't you like big cities, bro? You keep going to these weak-ass cities, man.
I mean, but who?
San Antonio, man. Chicago, cold.
I mean,
but you going down to Hicksville? What are the cows and stank, ugly city? Like, they ranked
No, I mean,
Our state capital.
I mean, no, the city is trash.
Our state capital. They rank #1 and just people just being ugly over there.
No, that's a fact. No, that's a fact.
City you want to be.
Good work. That's a fact. No, it ain't. Sacramento, there's bingo players out there.
Played in Sac.
Play bingo.
Played in Sac.
Bingo players is
Nice older work.
They rank #1.
38 and older. They got top 30. Sacramento's trash.
They rank #1 in ugliest people in America.
So ugly that your baby mama of 4 is from Sacramento. She worked for the Kings.
Is that why you came here, Alan? Because you're like, let's go to all these ugly people. I'm gonna look great. Yeah. It's gonna be nice.
Exactly. Oh! What are you talking about? Hall pass? Surround yourself around
yes.
5s
exactly
and you look like a 9.
Yeah, you're a Sacramento 8.
Yeah, right.
You're like, I'm gonna get with Chris and Nate.
Okay, that's crazy. Look, it's ridiculous. It's disrespectful. That is the story. He does have the mother of his 4 children, or I don't know if he has more than 4 children, but she worked for the Kings while he was playing for the Warriors. So I don't know if there is some type of vendetta there. I can tell you this much. I haven't seen one cow since I've been here in Sacramento. I haven't seen one cow. No, I really haven't.
No,
though.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's the come up.
I mean, Davis. I went to Davis, and there's cows everywhere. But yeah,
is that Sacramento?
No, that's YOLO. I mean, that's 30 minutes.
That's its own county, as a matter of fact. Yeah,
I have not seen one cow.
I'm trying to think. Yeah,
I think that comes from back in the day. I believe the land that was out near the airport used to be cow grazing land, and so it would be like you land at the airport.
So he hasn't been there. He hasn't been here since
yeah, exactly.
Since
maybe
the
if Gilbert would have had a career past the age of 33, and he would have seen what Sacramento looked like into the late 2010s. Maybe he would have had a better idea. And we could peel back the curtain since Gilbert's being messy. You said he met his baby mama or his then I don't know if they were ever married, she was PR. Not only was she working for the Kings, but you and I know how public relations and players go hand in hand. That's really messy.
Yeah.
That's very, very messy.
Right.
So it clearly seems like Gil is pretty hurt. I said it yesterday before we even played the audio, and it clearly sounds like dude is personally hurt by this place, and it's probably because he's got some baby mama drama. And
that's exactly right.
Keep that to you, homeboy. You don't put that on the city. Has absolutely nothing to do with him. But it's whatever. I'm not really pressed about Gilbert Arenas not liking our city, because Gilbert Arenas is bottom tier human. So.
He is at this point, and. Like we said, we don't like giving play to that type of stuff, but we felt like something this egregious.
Yeah, you
wanted to at least shut the door on and kind of move on from there. Everything that everybody had to say is legitimate. And De'Aaron Fox hopped in and said that he named Chicago, or Gilbert Arenas named Chicago, and he said, well, it's cold, even though it's one of the biggest cities. And De'Aaron hopped in and responded and said that not only is Chicago a big city, but San Antonio is actually a really big city as well. So it was pretty random, if anything.
Super random.
And again, as we kind of mentioned yesterday when it first kind of popped out, it's just barbershop talk.
Yeah.
Right. It's not analysis.
Yep.
It's just, we care about these guys. And look, to each their own. If that's how you get down, if that's what you want to listen to, cool. Yeah. But when somebody pays taxes in an area and you grew up somewhere, and it's a part of who you are, you're not going to let anybody disrespect. I don't even know where Gilbert Arenas is from, to be honest.
I looked it up yesterday, and I can't remember where it was, but it wasn't.
He was born in Tampa.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be quiet on that one. Tampa. Okay.
It's also it kind of really, it really kind of does piss me off, because this is how in a terrible, this is how backwards media kind of is these days. It's Gilbert gets more run and more attention to his pod by doing this than if he would have actually had a DeMar DeRozan take,
right?
Which is, I don't know what to do with that either, because I can see Gil saying, if this comes back to him, any reasonable, respectable person in this industry would say, hey man, that's just not how you should do this. Like, if you're going to be in this game, like, actually have takes. Don't just be shock jock culture and, try and get
that's
clicks.
Supposed to be new media. That's supposed to be new media.
Exactly. 100%. This is supposed to be players talking about the game, talking about insight that we don't have as normies. And these guys have been in the league and been in the circles and are supposed to give us some different level of insight. And to your point, we can go on Broadway and hear this, go to a barbershop and hear this same thing. We can go to a barbershop downtown on 16th and hear this same exact conversation said, or this type of conversation had. And yeah, it's just supposed to be better than that. And I hate that, this dude is probably actually like, I'm not sweating because look, that clip got us 1 million impressions. And if I would have actually given my, DeMar's cool, I don't know if, he's really raising the floor for Sacramento all that much, that gets, 100 clicks. And I think that's, I know you don't want to hear it, but that's kind of what JJ Redick was talking about all that time ago on First Take. This is what we reward in, for whatever reason, in today's mainly sports media, but I think it definitely crosses over into all mainstream media, is this garbage instead of propping up like somebody who's actually promoting the trade or anything like that. And I know this is kind of a specific situation, but it just pisses me off that Gilbert is still winning even from this.
Yeah, he went to high school in LA in San Fernando Valley. And he will never have to come back to Sacramento, and because he's not a broadcaster like that. I mean, maybe if there was an event in Sacramento, but I feel like he's not planning on coming back to Sacramento. You don't talk like that. 279. See, this is what we love about Kings fans. They do their homework. And I haven't even fact checked this because I trust our listeners. He's 5-14 against the Kings in his lifetime.
Interesting.
All these flavors in the world, and you still choose to be salty, Gilbert. Sad to see from such a legendary ball player.
Legend, I guess, you can call him a legend.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's a good player. He's a good player. Here, I got some stuff, Chris. Obviously, we know about the firearms.
Yeah, we know about the firearms. That is correct.
Yeah, we have the firearms incident. And then we have some other stuff here. Arenas admitted that he ran about 60 red lights in 4 months and got away with it by keeping his dealer plates on his vehicle. That's just
classic.
That's just by itself. Yeah. And then on June 27, 2013, Arenas was arrested by LAPD for possession of illegal fireworks. So when people like me who have young children that continue to wake up because
or dogs that bark all night,
or dogs that's because of idiots like Gilbert Arenas. And to be fair, this isn't even that high on his idiot list.
No, we haven't even gone into the whole locker room situation.
Right. So Gilbert Arenas, no thank you for your service. Yep. You will not be mentioned again on this show in any capacity. Yesterday I said if there's something relevant, but I just don't think that's going to be.
He's not relevant, so there's no reason.
Yeah, even if it's a guest, I don't want to give them any other play. We're going to move forward. Close the door on that. Coming up next, my friend had a question for me, and I'm still thinking about the answer. Also, maybe Vivek and someone else maybe change my mind on the stance of DeMar DeRozan, quote unquote, coming home. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Nothing like us.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
So Charles to McCaffrey, a cutback 130, breaks 340. McCaffrey midfield. McCaffrey 40, 30, 20, and toasted all the way down to the 3-yard line on the first play of the game. CMC Dynamite!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss. Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to saclegaldefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
Nighttime is the right time to track your golf ball's flight time at the Hagen Oaks Top Tracer driving range. It's more relaxed at night with people enjoying the Top Tracer technology where you can play Pebble Beach at Hagen Oaks. You can compete against your friends in a variety of games or just practice with the Top Tracer television technology. There's food when you're hungry from the Hangout food truck or enjoy a craft beer on the brand new patio with relaxed seating. And don't forget the summer-long free concert schedule. It's the Hagen Oaks driving range nightly until midnight, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway. The Open Championship celebrates its 152nd anniversary this month at Royal Troon in Scotland. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. The game's top players assemble for a chance at the coveted Claret Jug. The Open Championship is about tradition, excellence, and class. And you'll find similar qualities at Naturewood Home Furnishings as they assemble the finest furniture and brand choices for your selection. When you visit Naturewood, you'll be amazed at the gallery of superior furniture available for your lifestyle, for your decor, for your home. This weekend during Naturewood's bedroom sale, you're sure to find the perfect piece you've been searching for. Naturewood is proud to bring you Open Championship updates on this station and proud to offer you the finest furnishings available. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the Waterman.
You don't want to miss the Kia of Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. This is your chance to drive home in a brand new Kia with leases starting as low as $169 per month, plus bonus cash. Whether you're eyeing the stylish Kia Soul, the versatile Kia Sportage, the luxurious Telluride, or the efficient Kia Forte, we've got the perfect model to fit your lifestyle and budget. Come into Kia of Vacaville today and experience our incredible selection of vehicles, outstanding customer service, and unbeatable deals. Kia of Vacaville's friendly and knowledgeable staff are here to help you find your dream car and to make the entire process seamless and enjoyable. Imagine cruising through this summer to Tahoe or the beach in a brand new spacious Kia, making memories with family and friends. Don't wait. These deals won't last long. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and turn your dream into reality. Make this summer one to remember with a new Kia from Kia of Vacaville. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
We are going to go back and forth on, it's just the Kings, the Niners, I guess the Giants as well, the A's, just polarizing. You could even throw the Warriors in there, NorCal, just polarizing teams, Chris. And DeMar DeRozan has been a really polarizing move. You have some people that think that the Kings should really start cooking now. And you have some people that think that the Kings still need to make another move, or they're not moved at all, right? It is the most fascinating situation how they managed to get a guy, and we'll discuss later in the show, who is the guy that the Kings could have gotten that wouldn't have had these question marks, right? Because I don't think there's a vendetta against the Kings, but I do think the NBA world does like to make fun of the Kings.
Oh, for sure.
So we can literally find the negatives in anybody that the Kings would have acquired, and then who they got rid of. Just wait. Kevin Huerter is going to get moved, and people are going to say, are we sure letting go of a future Klay Thompson, are we sure that's a good thing for the Kings to do, right? Without looking at any stats or anything like that. So, it is fascinating how narratives change so quickly. And speaking of narratives changing quickly, I think I've changed my tune a little bit, Chris. After hearing what Shams had to say about DeMar, this whole coming home thing, it's not LA, but it is California. Okay, it's close enough. It's not the same. But after hearing what Shams had to say, I'm changing my tune a little bit. This is what Shams had to say.
It was really down to the Kings and the Miami Heat, from what I'm told, as far as DeMar DeRozan's next home. He really wanted to land in a competitive environment, and also, I'm told, wanted to go back west at the end of the day. And the Kings, they pushed the hardest, they pushed the fastest throughout free agency to get a deal done. They're a playoff contender, a team that's trying to get to the cusp of being a title contender. And I'm told Vivek Ranadive, the Kings owner, really clinched this in their in-person meeting over the weekend in Sacramento. The Lakers were bandied about. They have been over the last couple free agencies for DeMar DeRozan. But I'm told the Lakers never went beyond expressing just simple interest in DeRozan. There were no offers or tangible conversations with the Bulls on a sign and trade deal. So this is the second straight free agency where, perception-wise, there is that thought. Would DeMar DeRozan have had to take less money in free agency? Was he going to have to take the mid-level exception to land at a destination? For the second straight free agency, he lands in a sign and trade, and his last two deals have been a combined 5 years and $161 million. So that speaks to DeMar DeRozan's relationships, how he's known across the league, and the pedigree and respect he has from teams, in this case, including the Sacramento Kings, the Spurs, and the Bulls. All three contributed to this sign and trade.
So basically, DeMar DeRozan knows his worth, and he knows that there's some teams that feel that he is older, and hey, maybe he'll drop for us. And DeMar DeRozan is saying, I know that there is a team that is going to pay me what I think I am worth. But getting back to the home in Sacramento aspect, I mean, look, no, he's not from Northern California or Sacramento, but it is a lot closer than going to Miami. Mm-hmm. So relatively speaking, and I saw yesterday the Kings tweeted, welcome home, DeMar. And I know it's not the same, but I'm willing to give it a pass. I'm not going to sit there and say he came home like Kawhi or some of or LeBron when he went back to Cleveland, but I'm willing to say he is home adjacent, if you will. It's much easier for his turf. Home turf is much easier for him, for his family they could even stay in LA if they wanted. It's much easier for his family to come visit him in Sacramento than it would be in Miami. Yeah. So I've changed my tune a little bit. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's as long as like you're okay with, understanding that people in California are not going to be cool with it. Like, all of the SoCal people are for sure going to be like, hey, no, there ain't no
and taxes.
way. Sacramento.
And taxes. Miami wouldn't have had those same taxes.
That's true
Florida.
too. Yeah. I think that it's definitely a good sign for the Sacramento Kings that at the very least, like there was a time, and I think you said this yesterday, where even being in California wasn't good enough and paying more money wasn't good enough. He would still have chosen to go to Miami in a previous world. And I think it's great that the Kings have established themselves as a legitimate place to go and not a laughingstock. And I do think that it's kind of crazy that you could reasonably position this like somebody chose Sacramento over Miami. Now you can deal with the in-between all you want, but I think the fact is DeMar DeRozan picked Sacramento because of its location and because of what it allows him to do.
Proximity to home,
everything that everyone always jokes about Sacramento, it is still true, even though it is, it is saying that essentially the best parts of the town are how you can leave it. But I think that you gotta work with what you can. And I definitely think that it's a good sign, not only for the organization, but for this location, for Sacramento in general, for DeMar DeRozan to say, I'm okay playing here. I'm not going to laugh it off. I'm from Southern California. I understand what the quote unquote rep is on Sacramento.
Yes.
And I'm fine with it.
Right.
I got no problem with it at all. I think it's perfectly fine place to live, and I can do everything that I want to do as an individual, as a professional, and just everything else in between. I can get it all done in Sacramento if I want to.
And I do think that is important because he is somebody that we talked about not having a podcast, a guy that does a podcast on the team. So somebody on the text line yesterday, I didn't even know this. Basically, DeMar DeRozan has a YouTube show,
on mental health.
with DeMar, and it's about mental health and things like that. And you would assume he wants to continue to do that. So he's gonna find a spot to do it in Sacramento, or whether he goes out or whatever he does. But I think that's a big deal too. showing off, hey, I can continue to do this stuff even with me being in Sacramento. We talked about Paul George.
Right.
Where's he going to go? With the podcast studios, where's Podcast P at? So I think it's a great look for the city. And if people are going to say, well, that's because Sacramento overpaid, I don't even think it's by that much.
I don't think it is an overpay.
Yeah, so I think that's great stuff. Here is his farewell to Chicago. This was on Instagram. And I say, Shy City, a thank you would be an understatement. DeRozan wrote on Instagram, the love, passion, and joy you filled me with for 3 seasons was a dream. It gave me a drive every night to return the feeling. To the entire organization, front office, coaching staff, and to everyone who worked in the United Center, I couldn't ask for better people. To my teammates, we created a bond that'll last forever. Memories I'll never forget. I know the nightmares started already, knowing you will face me in another jersey, but it'll only be twice. That is DeMar DeRozan to his former team, the Chicago Bulls. I'm getting similar energy, honestly, Chris, to Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, for sure.
And just a guy that has been a consummate professional throughout his career. He's going to do things the right way, and he's going to make a lot of friends along the way and help where he can help. So I think that is one area of this. We've spent so much time on the basketball court talking about the spacing and everything like that, and which is incredibly important. But just from a standpoint of what you were losing off of the court with Harrison Barnes, I do think you will get a version of that or be able to keep a version of that with DeMar DeRozan.
I think you get better at it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, from what Will was telling us, Will Gottlieb was telling us yesterday when he joined us was that, DeMar takes an active role. It's not just, doing the stuff that we've been clamoring for, taking these guys out to dinner, understanding that, sometimes you have to be the bad guy and have to call people out in practice, but it's also, DeMar sitting immediately after the game in front of media, which I do think is important as well, and talking to the young guy about what he did wrong or what he did right in a situation. I definitely think that DeMar is going to bring a different layer, a different element of it. And I do think the thing that hasn't really been talked about either, that I'm curious, I think it hasn't been talked about because we haven't really seen it in action, but DeMar to me is more of a star than I think people understand. Like, I think this team desperately has kind of wanted, we've talked, and I hate this term, but the alpha of the team, they need that guy that kind of sucks in all the attention and can kind of relieve the stress from De'Aaron of being that leader. And I think DeMar brings that. I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on DeMar, and I think he's going to willingly accept it. And I do think there's going to be a certain star power or star gravity that DeMar has that's just going to be a breath of fresh air to everybody. We talked about I know no one wants to hear about it again, but the infamous podium gate where Keon Ellis goes up to the podium after these guys lose, and we want to talk to De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, and no one's there to be seen. I think DeMar DeRozan really does cure a lot of those things, and that's the kind of guy that I think the Kings just brought in as somebody who's going to always be willing to kind of be the face of everything in wins and in losses. And that doesn't have to mean be disparaging on De'Aaron Fox. I think if anything, it's just a compliment that DeMar is willing to step up and take that role, which is something we asked Harrison Barnes to do in that moment. It's like, in that moment, that's where we want you to step up.
And there's really, and obviously it's a 3-year deal, but it really will, I think, accelerate quickly because DeMar is on the other side of the mountain. Yeah. Right. So I don't think he's going to waste a season, similar to what we saw with Malik Monk. Sure. It's not a situation where it's a contract season or anything like that. Yeah. This is where he's going to play probably his last great basketball, right? This is probably going to be his last stop as far as prime DeMar DeRozan and the end of that prime. So I don't think there's going to be any wasted time, any wasted movement, if you will. I think he's going to come in, just ready to get after it. And I think that's exactly what the Kings need. Coming up next, a little bit of Olympic basketball talk as far as Anthony Edwards. Is he doing too much? And Cooper Flagg being the main event that he is. Also, we get into what my friend asked me and why we should be a little bit more optimistic about DeMar DeRozan, even if the Kings don't do anything else. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car really needs a wash.
The $20 McGuire's bundle includes Gold Class Car Wash for a showroom shine.
Get in zone.
And what about my tires?
Just spray the included Hot Shine tire coating and you're all set.
Get in zone.
The inside is not great.
No problem. The quick interior detailer in the bundle can help with that too.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
18 number ones. What was I thinking? Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hard Help Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by Bonnie Electrical Heating and Air and the U.S. Marines.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 Special. Rock it into the night. Friday, July 19th at 7:30 at the venue at Thunder Valley. With Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss 38 Special Live.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I can't tell you how much I love my new SUV. It is truly amazing, and I got special news just for you. Right now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you can receive your first month's payment up to $1,500 on them on select new 2024 GLE vehicles. Or how about the all-new E-Class right now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton? They have over 80 pre-owned vehicles in stock, including off-brand trucks, SUVs, and sedans. And they have rates starting at 1.99% APR on select certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. And Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a Vans Fleet Center with rates starting at 4.9% APR plus customer bonus cash incentives on approved credit. Head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just off I-5, or online at mbfstockton.com.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spa's Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
Sacktown
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Some really, really good text on the text line that we're going to get into. By the way, just so people know, I'm getting tagged because I posted the Gilbert Arenas thing and I said he won't be mentioned on this show moving forward. And Gilbert Arenas capers or stands, whatever you want to call them, they're saying he's better than your show. Okay, then watch it. I just never have understood the caping for people that just don't know you.
Yeah, I wouldn't understand why you would cape Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, it's a Sacramento station that says, hey, you're not going to talk bad about our city, and you're going to hop in and comment and
why
defend.
Are we giving them time?
Well, but what? Yeah, but why are you defending Gilbert Arenas?
I don't know.
If you have no connection to Sacramento,
that person clearly
or Gilbert
has
Arenas.
a very, very, very sad life.
Yeah.
I can confidently say that if that's who the person you're deciding to champion is. I would just let that person live their sad life.
I just hit him with the hope he sees this big fella.
Yeah,
that's what.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Let's get into Anthony Edwards because we talked about this with Ja Morant. We haven't heard from Ja Morant in ages, it feels like. But Ja Morant used to do this, right? And we have said that Anthony Edwards, this roster is ridiculously fully loaded. And at 11 o'clock, by the way, we get into the two kings of the fourth. Who's taking that last shot? And we get into some of these really good texts that we are getting from everybody. 916-339-1140. We open up the phone lines. Kings hardcore. That's at 11. But we do this thing, Chris, with Ja Morant, how he said, what did he say? He thought he was the best in the league, or I'm not afraid of the West. Whether it's authentic or not, it is who he was trying to come off as. With Anthony Edwards, we say, Anthony Edwards, it's just more, it feels more authentic. So Anthony Edwards on a team with LeBron James, who was voted best on the team by his peers. We'll get into that. LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, the list goes on and on and on. And Anthony Edwards had to say this as far as playing with these guys.
I'm still the number one option. Yeah. I mean, y'all might look at it differently. I don't look at it differently. Yeah, I just go out there and be myself, shoot my shots, play defense, and, they got to fit in to play around me. That's how I feel.
They got to fit in to play around me. I'm going to shoot my shots. Fair foul on, and sorry, the basketballs were quite loud there. Some of these mics just don't seem to work out there. But fair foul on what he had to say.
If you didn't hear too, he opened by saying, I'm still the number one option. You might look at it differently because it was pretty poor audio.
Right. Does he have to say, does he feel like he has to say that? Does he actually feel like that?
He definitely doesn't have to say it. I think he's kind of trolling. I think he knows what he's doing, and I think he knows that he's in a room with literally the best basketball players in the world. And I think he's just having fun with media. I don't think he actually believes that he thinks, he should be getting 15 shots when everybody else is getting 8. Like I'm pretty sure he's self-aware enough. And to me, this is coming off as a joke. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think, it's part of his bit of him being hyper confident and him, just kind of being that guy. And I think he's trying to exude that confidence, but I think he definitely is saying it tongue in cheek, and he understands that it's a team. Like, I don't think Anthony Edwards is out there pulling 30 times. I don't think he's out there acting like Kobe and then, coming out to the media and saying, yeah, I'm bossing it out here. I'm pretty sure he's playing ball. As in he's doing what the coaches are asking him to do, and then when media asks him, he's like, "No, yeah, I'm that guy."
Right. Well, because he did. I think it was the same interview. He did say that he's really excited to see Olympic Kevin Durant, and he's excited to be watching from the bench.
Right. Exactly.
He said from the bench.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I thought that
Plus,
was
Steve Kerr's the coach too, so he knows.
Yeah, Steve
don't mess with him.
Exactly. And speaking of, and some of the names that I named off, I didn't even name off this guy, Jason Tatum. And we have Jason Tatum some sound on wearing number 10, which is what Kobe wore when he was in the Olympics and played for Team USA. And we know how connected Jason Tatum feels to Kobe Bryant. This is what he had to say.
Had in your life, he wore the number 10 for Team USA, same sort of journey where he came to Las Vegas. Talk about that 10 and the significance Kobe has had.
Nothing short of an honor to be able to represent this uniform and wear number 10. Anybody that remotely knows me knows how much influence that he had on me as a kid, aspiring to reach my goals. It's definitely something I don't take for granted or take my
Got to do something that he really wanted to do, and it's really been a great year for Jason Tatum for a number of reasons. I'll let everyone else Google the other ones, but I think that, this is a really cool thing, and Jason Tatum gets roasted a lot for certain things, but I do think the world in general, Chris, is a bit too cynical these days, and I think that I don't help that in a lot of situations, but there are some situations where you can just say, hey, he grew up idolizing Kobe. He's getting to wear Kobe's number on Team USA on one of the most loaded teams that we've ever seen. It's just great stuff. It's that simple. It's just great stuff.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. He clearly loves Kobe more than anything else in this world, probably besides Deuce. And, I think it's a cool opportunity for him. And what?
You gotta say it like that.
I'm pretty sure it's true. I'm pretty sure it's true.
You outside of family, maybe?
No, just Deuce. I think just Deuce. Pretty sure Deuce is mom, and then probably Kobe number 3. I hear him talk about Kobe more than
his wife,
talk about anything else.
Well, he doesn't have a wife, but he is expecting.
My bad.
But
yes.
Yeah, no, I think it's a cool opportunity for him. I just hope that these fools can get it together, man. Like
you worried?
Yeah, I would say I'm a little bit worried. I think there's always some worry when you have guys who have all been number 1s, or at the very least, or at the very most, I should say, number 2s on teams. Like people got to sacrifice. Like we were just talking about Anthony Edwards, but Anthony Edwards kind of only knows 1, maybe 2 ways of playing basketball, and I don't know if how he's going to be. Being a gritty rebound guy, or maybe Team USA needs him to be more of an athletic defender, things like that. Like to go from star player to starring in a role is completely different. And, when you play teams like Germany or like even, Canada's probably not a great example because they don't have a lot of continuity. They are honestly built more like Team USA with just stars, but there's a lot of teams out there that are actual teams. Like Team USA is a bunch of collective talent that comes together once every 4 years to dominate the world. There are teams out here that really coordinate, really practice, really are, taking pride and say, wow, this will mean something to our country if we can beat Team USA. Meanwhile, Team USA is thinking, hey, I probably have a nice little Nike bump if we win a gold medal here. And, of course, maybe a little bit they're thinking about the national pride and all that, but there are teams and players out there that really, really, really desperately want more than anything than to come home with an Olympic gold medal. And,
right.
I just think that sometimes Team USA motivations can be a little bit lacking there. And I think there's a lot, as good as the players are, there's a lot of personality on this team. And they're going to have to put a lot of it aside, especially LeBron.
Who is your starting 5? Here is the roster. Bam, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Halliburton, Drew Holiday, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Jason Tatum.
One of these things is not like the other.
Hey,
I would
it's not
say,
what you know, it's who you know.
I'd put Steph at point. I'd probably run Ant at the 2, LeBron 3, KD 4, and Joel at the 5.
I just don't know how you. The only question mark is really Anthony Edwards, right? Everything else, I don't think. I just think based on pedigree, you can't go against unless somebody argue. Yeah, you're not putting Anthony Davis doesn't even want to be a 5, so you wouldn't put Anthony Davis at the 5. I'm just thinking because obviously he's got the ring. Kawhi Leonard, I don't know what to do with Kawhi. Kawhi's, you could make the argument.
I don't think so. I think he's not healthy enough. And I mean, to me, there's 3 guaranteed starters. It's Steph, it's 100% LeBron, and I just don't think – I think part of Joel Embiid committing to play for Team USA was them telling him he was going to start. So I would think Joel is starting as well. I just don't think Anthony Davis can come off the bench, and they do need another center. They only have, I guess they have Bam as a center as well, but you kind of need some backup height as well, because there's just so many international squads that can really present problems. And it's KD also. I just feel like KD's probably as close of a lock as it gets too.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It'd probably be between Booker and Edwards,
right?
Potentially. I wouldn't think Drew Holiday is going to start. Tatum, I guess you can maybe start at the 3, but that's the problem with these rosters is somebody's got to not play,
right.
And probably multiple somebodies are going to not play. And I would guess it'd probably be, Devin Booker. I don't think that he's necessarily something that is like Devin Booker's obviously just an incredible shot maker, but they have LeBron James, they have Stephen Curry. Like, I don't know how necessary Devin Booker is necessarily going to be. Right. At least Anthony Edwards brings a bit of an outlier physically and obviously athletically as well. Like, I just feel like he's probably their X factor. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be one of their best players, but it definitely feels like he's going to be their, hey, Argentina, he's our Hulk. Like yes. Okay. Yeah, sure. You can have your star. You can have your Luka. You can have your Giannis. What's your answer for this kid? Because not anybody has a 21, 22-year-old kid who's got a 42-inch vertical and can, score like Jordan or whatever.
We get into the devil in the details as far as the fit with DeMar DeRozan and the Sacramento Kings. 2 Kings of the 4th, but who takes the last shot? We also break down a lot of the great texts that you have sent. It's all Kings talk moving forward for the next couple hours. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, a special Sacramento Kings broadcast. The California Classic from the Golden One Center, featuring the Charlotte Hornets and your Sacramento Kings. Tip-off at 7 p.m. on your local sports leader, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Franklin Rosen with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of innovative newly designed tires, like the Bigfoot AT2 with improved all-terrain traction, and the Legacy All-Season Plus that keeps you on the road in any weather, with every set backed by our ProTech Plus warranty.
And right now, get $80 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Now through July 28th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. No carry-outs. Not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT Turbo Max. In stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive. All in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. 7/31/24.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTK-AM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports.
Check an unforgettable night of Southern Rock, courtesy of Thunder Valley Casino Resort. For more information, visit SacktownSports.com. Chris, 2 kings of the fourth now. You have De'Aaron Fox and you have DeMar DeRozan. And we're going to do the sports radio thing that we have to do, really. I do think it's a real question. We'll open up the phone lines to this as well, 916-339-1140. Call line, text line. Most fourth quarter points last season, DeMar DeRozan, 550. De'Aaron Fox, 538, which begs the question, game on the line. We saw De'Aaron in these situations. Obviously, it really doesn't feel like De'Aaron had that great of a fourth quarter season last season, but I think it was because of how great he was the season prior, getting that clutch player of the year award. But maybe we don't have to do this. Maybe we do. At the end of the day, does it matter based on who's hot? Does it matter based on who's been rolling? Who's taking that last shot?
I mean, it definitely matters who's rolling and who's got to go on that given day for sure. But I would say DeMar. I mean, yeah, I think we asked this question when the reports initially came out, and yeah, I mean, I don't really think it's. I don't want to say it's not much of a question, but to me, DeMar has just been doing this longer and has, frankly, a wider bag of shots that he can hit. Like DeMar can hit turnaround jumpers. He can back people up and post them up and then, take his turnaround. He can get to the rim. He's a bigger body. I just think DeMar is the guy, and I don't really have much question about it. I think De'Aaron is great. He obviously showed that he can hit some big time shots, but if we think about the shots that De'Aaron was taking a couple of years ago when he won the most value or whatever, the clutch player of the year, there was a lot of threes. It was a lot. I mean, there was a half court shot from against the Magic. Occasionally he would get to his little mid-range jump shot and hit that. But I think that DeMar is just more seasoned at it. And I don't want to call it luck, but I will say De'Aaron probably got the benefit of a couple shots that don't usually go in for him going in during that season. So I'm not saying De'Aaron's not clutch and De'Aaron doesn't have it like that. I just think that DeMar is the best that there is. And De'Aaron is probably in that next class of guys, but I just think DeMar is in a class of his own.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And as you see the interaction between De'Aaron and DeMar yesterday during the Nothing Like Us situation, these are clearly conversations that I can tell you right now, my guess as to what De'Aaron Fox would say is basically a version of what we're already saying. It depends on who's rolling. First of all, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. Second of all, it depends on who's rolling and what makes the most sense. And from DeMar's perspective, he's there to hit those shots, but also to help get De'Aaron Fox to that next level. So I don't think it'll be an issue. I think you might see, let's say the first week, there's a close game. I think you might see some clunkiness, but I feel like it'll be figured out fairly early on, depending on how many close games they're in. So, and even if it's not necessarily the last shot, but hey, who's going to close this thing out? I think we saw a version of it with DeRozan and Malik. And Malik Monk, when he was going, it would be Malik. Malik has some game winners, some game tying shots. So I don't think that will be an issue. I think the outside perspective and media and fans, they might have some question marks on it, and they might have more thoughts on it than the actual players. But I don't know that it will be a huge issue.
I wouldn't think so. No, I mean, yeah, like you said, it'll probably be something that takes a month or so to kind of hammer out. And, there'll probably be a game or two where there's an awkward moment where, one guy, it's like the Mike situation where he's passing it back and forth and back and forth. But at some point they'll figure it out. I mean, DeRozan seems more than willing to sacrifice if that's going to be the case. And DeMar definitely gives off vibes of somebody who isn't super selfish about it either. Of course, it's something he can do and has done, but I don't think he really takes ownership of it and says like, this is my time. How dare you try and step on my time? I mean, again, we had Will Gottlieb explain to us that he had Kobe White in a situation where they allowed Kobe White to take the final shot, and DeMar, instead of being bitter, instead of being like Scottie Pippen and saying, why did you draw up that play for Tony Kukoc?
Right.
He said, okay, Kobe, I'm not sure how the result went of that play, but he broke it down with him and understood like, hey, even though this usually goes to me and it went to Kobe and it might have not gone how it should have gone or how it would have gone if I got it, let me help this kid out. So I think that DeMar definitely gives off vibes of someone who just doesn't really care about that kind of stuff. And I think ultimately that's going to lead to them being incredibly successful. But you did kind of touch on something there too. Malik Monk is also somebody who gets fourth quarter clutch touches. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe that is more. DeRozan's still the head of the snake. He's still, this team goes as far as DeRozan takes them. He was always still going to get those shots. Maybe now Malik doesn't get those shots, and we kind of talked about it yesterday, and I think we'll talk about it in a bit here. If Malik isn't starting and then isn't getting his end roll, that means that there's a lot of value in that in-between time. And so do we have to make sure that Malik isn't forgotten in those situations? That could be maybe where we see this really affect itself, and not necessarily with these two top guys who are already elite at this. It might be the guy who is new to this, but starting to kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah. In these big three situations, right? And I know they're not a big whatever, someone, or whether it's Sabonis or not, somebody got to sacrifice.
Yeah. 100%.
Somebody has to sacrifice. You're bringing 24 points per game to a team, and DeMar DeRozan, either he's going to have to sacrifice and hey, you're going to get down, you're going to be more around 18 to 20. Somebody has to I'm not saying it has to be Malik Monk, but the way math works, it has to be someone, and it probably will be the guy that's not starting if that ends up being Malik Monk. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Dwayne. Wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Dwayne? What you got for us?
Hey, what's good, fellas? I gotta say, when you get a DeMar DeRozan, you can't be unhappy because you got a star. You got a bucket machine, right? A legit bucket machine, right? But what's up with all these guards, bro? I mean, I was going a whole nother direction with this. So what I want to say is, we're almost like the 49ers now. We're not addressing the needs that we need to address, which is wingspan, length, defense, shot blocking, and attitude, bro. And attitude. We've been saying this for a year, and it's just not getting done. So the next move has to get something done along those lines, bro. Or I'm gonna look at Monty, because we look at what the Pelicans do to us. We got to address that. We look at what Dallas did. They added length with PJ Washington and the other guy, and went from a 5 seed to the finals.
Gafford, yeah. But Dwayne, what about you're bringing up attitude? What were you going to say about attitude? Because I feel like DeMar DeRozan does help that at the very least a little bit.
He might help a little bit just because Sacramento hasn't had that at all. We got no guys that's going to just be loud and get in somebody's face, man. We got a bunch of nice guys who are going to look around for the next guy to do it, and then we're going to get pumped. We're going to get bullied in the fourth quarter like what happened last year, man. So I got to go to work, man, take care of my kids, but let me know what you think, man. Y'all have a great day. Love this channel.
Hey, pay them bills, Dwayne. Pay them bills. Thank you. Appreciate it. So that's one thing I haven't really thought about as far as the dog factor. And obviously there's clips of DeMar getting chippy. Do they still need to address it? And in the next segment, in about 6 minutes here, we're going to move towards what else the Kings need to do. But I didn't really think about it like that. As far as the guard thing, and I told you, a lot of people are very confused on what DeMar DeRozan is. He's played 2, he's played 3, he's played 4. And to that point, I think we were talking about in the crosstalk, they're getting smaller wings. They're getting there slowly but surely, Chris. They got Devin Carter, who's a big guard.
Yep.
Now you get DeMar DeRozan, who is a small forward, and you're just trying to move forward to just getting a legit big 4. Yep. And what is available out there. We'll talk about the Walker Kesslers of the world, who obviously is a 5, but there are questions coming out about what he'd go for. But yeah, as far as the dog thing is concerned, I do think you can do it in different ways. And I think last season the Kings just didn't have anything. They had no stopper when the teams went on runs, and they had no dog to say, we're not going to be disrespected like this. Whether or not you think that DeMar DeRozan is a dog in that capacity, he's a stopper. At least he can get a bucket and slow down runs. The Kings, they had a lot of issues last season. So you're not going to solve them all in one move. But I do think that the DeMar DeRozan move does solve some of the more pressing issues, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, leadership and just overall tenacity and shot making ability and having another playmaker on the floor. Absolutely. There's a lot that he definitely covers up. And I feel like, it makes me wonder. I know JaVale said, I think it was to the Drive guys, it's tough when your enforcer is 6'2", and he was talking about Malik. Mm-hmm. I wonder what the line is. Is DeMar big enough to be this team's enforcer, or do they still need to bring in a real forward, a power forward, or a center that kind of brings that edge? Because, I think that part is still missing a bit, but I think to your point, DeMar definitely does bring an edge and a bit of tenacity. And, I think a bit of what everyone wants isn't even necessarily a dude who's, well, maybe they do want somebody who's going to get in people's faces, but I think the thing DeMar brings that is very dog mentality-esque is every single night he wants to win. And I think that's a part of it too, is I think people say they want a dog because they're seeing just the complete opposite. They're seeing guys who sometimes on some nights look like they don't care, look like they're not giving their 100% effort. And I think they want it to manifest itself in, if this guy's angry and getting mad and chirping, that means he's invested. It means that he's emotionally tied to this game. And I think that's something you never have to worry about with DeMar. So I think he answers that in the sense of every single game, you're going to see DeMar DeRozan fighting tooth and nail to try and win the game. I think you pointed out yesterday, or you pointed out Whitey's tweet about DeMar DeRozan in that fourth quarter against the Sacramento Kings when the Bulls were down. I think he said double digits. Yeah. And DeMar, what did he do? He didn't give up. He said, okay, time to put the backpack on and carry the team. He went 7 of 7 in the quarter. You're going to see a guy who brings it every single night. And I think that will alleviate some of the dog problems that fans want.
That's exactly where I'm at with this. You can still get a dog. I'm sure one of the Morris twins is available.
Sure. Oh, they definitely are.
But I don't think that you were going to get an all-encompassing player that was going to solve all of your issues. But again, this does solve one of the issues that the Kings have had. Coming up next, what else do the Kings need? Okay, we open up the conversation. We'll play a game of open door or closed door. Getting DeMar DeRozan, does this keep the door open for certain players, or does it close the door for certain players? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles the man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Live and local. This is Sacktown Sports.
Chance to win tickets to see Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. He's coming to Sacktown, and we want to get you in the building next Friday for the 38th special experience. Hit up the Full Mike hotline at 1:15 right after the DeMar DeRozan press conference, which we will have live here on Sacktown Sports 1140, the flagship for the Sacramento Kings. And you'll be able to score a pair of tickets if you are the correct caller number based on the number that Chris chooses. This is what I want to do moving forward, Chris. When anybody has the dog conversation or wants to have the dog conversation, just give me names, because we're going to hear who, right? And also names that are available. So you hear Dylan Brooks, and I know there were people that wanted Dylan Brooks on the Kings. Okay, there's dogs. There's Dylan Brooks. There's Draymond Green, who's hated in Sacramento. There's Patrick Beverly, who you can't take Patrick Beverly because you have too many guards. Okay, you have the Morris twins. I know one of them is signed. Who are the other dogs available? Look, and I know the main one, and we can say this, and we'll continue to say it because we know people are in and out. They're going to work. We would love beef stew. Okay, Isaiah Stewart. We need De'Aaron Fox. We would love beef stew. That's one I think is a win-win for everyone involved. So that is a name that I hear you on that. But there's not a ton of these quote-unquote dogs walking around.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, again, it's not even necessarily that you need – everyone you listed, I would say, is an enforcer. Like, I don't even think – and that's a different conversation, which we've had before. Like, this team – at a time, and you can definitely make the argument, even still needs an enforcer. I think dogs can be found elsewhere. Like, to me, Keon Ellis is a dog. Like, he's somebody who's out there. He's getting scrappy. He's diving on the ball or on the floor for loose balls and things like that. So I'm
struggling with the definition at this point.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It became a cliche, and everyone says got that dog in him and got that dog in me and all that stuff. And so it becomes a little bit murky, but I don't necessarily think that the Kings, especially with Devin Carter, you've got Keon Ellis, you've got DeMar DeRozan, who probably isn't more of the diving on loose balls kind of dog, but is more of the exactly. He's more of like the what's it called? Man, that threw me
Scrappy?
off completely. Yeah.
That wasn't lingering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hard-nosed,
right?
You're just kind of looking for somebody who kind of brings the mental side of the dogness. He again understands that games aren't over, that every single game you need to bring your 100%. Doesn't matter if you're playing the Blazers or the Spurs or the Hornets or any of the worst teams in the league. You can't lose to those guys. And I think that's the thing that hopefully DeMar can bring. And I think that's what the dog mentality really is to me, is just not caring about the opponent in front of you. You're playing 100% every single game. And you could also throw Sabonis into that category as well, because we saw, in that Detroit game infamously where the Kings went down, 15 in the first quarter. Domantas Sabonis was cooking that game. So I don't think he's really in the question for if he's got that dog in him either. I think it really is. I mean, you could argue maybe it's just De'Aaron that we need to see it out of. I mean, I just listed 4 guys on the team that undeniably have it. You could say Malik has it in terms of mentality. I think maybe it's more just people want to see that emotion, want to see that fight, that energy, that hustle out of De'Aaron Fox. And I think I think it's a big ask, but I do think that it's a necessary one for someone who's supposed to be one of the biggest leaders on your team. And I'm not saying De'Aaron never shows it. I just think that people might want to see that angry fox a little bit more. We talk so much during the season when we see De'Aaron get locked in and see him take that intensity to another level. I think we just want to see it more often.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Somebody on the text line is saying Jay Crowder. I'm not
Jay Crowder's not getting minutes though.
Yeah. And that begs the question, what exactly is it that you think we need? Okay, it's time to play open door or closed door. Chris, I have some names here, and whether you think the addition and acquisition of DeMar DeRozan has closed the door or the door is still open on some of these guys. Let's start with Brandon Ingram. Closed door, open door.
I would think that the door is closed. I just think him and DeRozan are a bit redundant, and actually, I think they're pretty much doing the exact same thing. And yeah, I mean, it's just going to be I think it's too hefty of a price, especially considering, you're going to have to pay Brandon Ingram $50 million after this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that complicates the fit more than any other person that you could bring in. So I would say that they're more than likely out on Brandon Ingram.
I would say the same thing. I think that they're done with the Brandon Ingram conversations just based on what I've been hearing, what is floating around the basketball world. I think that they're done with Brandon Ingram because you can't add Brandon. There's just now Malik Monk is now a fifth option at this point, and Keegan Murray ain't far in front or behind him. So I think it's a closed door on that. Next one, everyone's favorite name right now, Lauri Markkanen. Before you answer, Chris, this was from Brett Siegel from Clutch Points. He says the Jazz have been offered 3 first-round picks for Lauri Markkanen. And basically, there have been different deals that have gone on. Obviously, we heard that in April they had a conversation with the Jazz. They wanted Keegan. They said no Keegan. Now it seems like they're still pursuing Lauri Markkanen in some capacity. If I'm Danny Ainge, maybe he's changed his mind and doesn't want Keegan. I don't know if you saw that picture of him yesterday at the Summer League, not looking very happy. Door open or door closed on Lauri Markkanen?
I think that it's still open. I personally would probably have it closed a bit more. I just think that it's a really, really big asking price, and it's interesting. I mean, if they involve Keegan, funny enough, I do think that it severely diminishes what the return for Utah would be. I would assume that they wouldn't want or probably couldn't get more than. I would hope that you're not throwing on Keegan plus 2 first-round picks. If it is Keegan involved, maybe it's 1. That makes it a little more palatable to me. But right now, to me, it feels like if you're not going to give up Keegan and you are going to just straight up do a picks-based deal for Lauri Markkanen, that's everything, man. And at that point, you only have Keegan Murray as a trade chip moving forward. I guess you can maybe say Malik Monk as a trade chip, possibly DeMar DeRozan, but I mean, you just assembled this team together. I would hope that you wouldn't have to even think about that kind of route. So that to me is a bit too all in, and I, again, still have I'm just not as in on Lauri as I think a lot of other people are. I think he's great. I'm just not sure that he's solving all the problems the Kings have. And to me, if you're going to give up what Lauri takes to get, I don't know if you have enough to then solve the problems that you still have.
I'm going to go quick on these next 2 because I think that these are obvious, because I have 2 more that I do think are a little bit more in-depth. Cam Johnson or Dorian Finney-Smith, door open on those.
Yeah, I would think door open still on.
Okay, let's have some fun with these last 2. Jeremy Grant, door open, door closed. It's a tough one.
It's probably still open, but yeah, we just haven't heard any smoke behind it recently. And again, it's still one where it would be interesting to see what his return is. I don't think we have any true gauge on what Jeremy Grant's return would be. I would definitely assume it's less than Lauri Markkanen, but again, if the Kings are having to give up multiple first-round picks and maybe I wouldn't think a young player, but you would have to at least get matching salary, that's a decent bit to give up. So I would say I would probably lean more towards out, but it wouldn't surprise me if he emerges as a name sometime soon.
And last but not least, from Joe Cowley, the Chicago Bulls are hoping to attach 2 second-round picks in potential trades to offload Zach LaVine's contract. The hope in making the sign and trade for DeRozan is getting 2 second-round picks back that can now be attached to the LaVine package, but it's still a long shot, and the market has been screaming for over a year that there is not a lot of interest in LaVine.
Yeah, that I think it's a big no. I think it's just not going to happen. Even with the 2 second-round picks, I think if it was ever going to happen, it was going to be in combination with this DeRozan deal. I just can't imagine that the Kings gave the Bulls some second-round picks just to get back in a Zach LaVine trade. I think they're out. I hope they're out. I pray they're out. And thankfully, it seems like they're out.
Is there no part of you, maybe it's just me, feel bad for Zach LaVine at all? I know it's hard to feel bad when he's making $40 million.
Contract. You keep saying he signed $50 million a year.
Why no one want me, man? It's just a little $40 million.
It's a complete.
He's going to come back with a vengeance.
To your salary. That's the problem.
He's going to come back with a vengeance.
And then he's going to get hurt. That's the problem. Nobody is denying Zach LaVine's skill. I think that's also the problem here. Is nobody is saying Zach LaVine's a terrible player. I definitely think that his value has diminished a bit in that sense. But I think people are afraid of the contract and they're afraid of the injuries. I don't think they're afraid of Zach LaVine not living up to what they give up.
I saw one thing. It said. It was basically similar to what I said. Man, is his contract really that bad?
Yes.
And someone said he gets paid like Luka and plays as much as Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Or less.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, 3 years, $150 million still left on that still left on that contract.
Still.
You don't get rid of, we just saw the Kings had to give up a 2031 unprotected pick swap to get rid of Harrison Barnes' contract.
Yeah.
What are we talking about with Zach LaVine? $150 million left. Nobody wants it. Nobody who's serious about winning is actually going to do that. The Lakers might do it mid-season, but I think that's their best hope. I don't know who else would be willing to do it. Maybe Phoenix would be willing to do a Bradley Beal swap, but Bradley Beal would have to be willing to accept it. He's got a no-trade clause.
There is one more name who broke out yesterday, but is Danny Ainge pulling the old okie doke? Also, we get into Malik Monk and his press conference that happened earlier this week and why he chose to stay with the Kings. And last but not least, should Malik Monk be a starter? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, a special Sacramento Kings broadcast. The California Classic from the Golden One Center, featuring the Charlotte Hornets and your Sacramento Kings. Tip-off at 7 p.m. on your local sports leader, Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento Summertime Heat is back. And, of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And, as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
18 number ones. What was I thinking? Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by Bonnie Electrical Heating and Air and the U.S. Marines.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Sponsored by Xfinity Internet. Enjoy ultimate control of your home network. Personalize your Wi-Fi name and password. Assign user profiles. View and control connected devices and more with the Xfinity Internet app. Tune in to Sacktown Sports Now through July 9th for coverage of the California Classic. All the latest basketball news brought to you by Quick Quack Car Wash. proud partners of the Sacramento Kings. Visit your nearest Quick Quack Car Wash today.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spas' Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
$115. Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner, is coming to Sacktown. We want to get you in the building next Friday for the 38 special experience. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. 115 right after DeMar DeRozan's press conference. De'Aaron Fox, he might be there. He might be in attendance. That is all coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. Chris, it's about that time. You bring up dogs. There's always a name that's going to get brought up. What name do you think that is?
I would guess Jimmy Butler. Draymond.
Think more, I guess, past, but that's just going to give it away.
Think more past dogs. Ron Artest.
Okay, you've gone too far.
Okay.
It's too obvious. I can't tell you.
It's clearly not obvious.
He was a king.
Reggie Evans, Quincy AC.
Boogie.
Oh, I would not consider DeMarcus was a certain kind of dog. He was I don't know if I would describe his game as dog-like. We'll see. I mean, I guess he was definitely intense. He was he was like a chow. That's if I were to give DeMarcus a dog type. I wouldn't say like a pit bull or a Rottweiler. Well, maybe a Rottweiler, but a lot of bark, and I mean, I know there was a lot of substance to that bark, but I wouldn't say dog-like effort from DeMarcus. I think that actually would have been welcome part of his game.
Again, they're just different types of dogs, right? And I don't know. The vibes look so good yesterday, even with Vivek, and they're nothing like us. Nothing. Throwing Boogie back in the mix. I don't know.
No, there's a zero. DeMarcus Cousins is not signing with this team. It's not worth anybody's breath. It's not happening.
But my question is, when will you think? How much longer do you think until fans just don't bring up Boogie? We got 2 more years.
I'm honestly shocked that it hasn't happened already. I would have guessed that it would have happened like 2 years ago. Like DeMarcus has been off the team for so long, and I mean, his career is done. Like, I mean, the dude is literally playing in Costa Rica or Puerto Rico or whatever. It's like he's not an NBA player. Nobody in the league wants him. Not even the Detroit Pistons, the Washington Wizards. There's tons of teams. Like, he had his chance. He had multiple chances. Yeah. He had multiple chances on the way out, and he's no longer an NBA player. I don't know why it's hard for people to accept.
That Achilles.
I like DeMarcus as a player. I would like him here in Sacramento, but I am not under any illusion that he can help out this team at all. I mean, plus, he's physically not the same guy he used to be either. I mean, he completely tore up his legs pretty much the minute he left Sacramento. And I feel like a lot of Kings fans didn't really see that part of it. But, DeMarcus didn't just fade out because he wasn't a nice guy and things like that. It was, his body kind of was deteriorating as well.
Well, there might not be a big market for DeMarcus Cousins, but there does seem to be a big market for Walker Kessler. And all of a sudden, look, there's no way it's going to be this simple, but Ian Begley is reporting that teams in touch with Utah say the Jazz are looking for at least a first-round pick in return for Kessler. I think the operative words there, at least, and nobody else, including our own Carmichael Dave, nobody else seems to be paying attention to those words, at least. That's where the bidding starts. Okay, let's hear from Ian Begley and what he had to say about Walker Kessler.
Couple of notes here as the Knicks get through their offseason, get ready for Summer League. The Knicks had been in touch with Utah, had some interest in Walker Kessler, the big man, as a potential solution for them at the backup 5. But teams in touch with Utah say the Jazz are looking for at least a first-round pick in return for Kessler in these conversations that had gone on earlier in the offseason. So that's going to be a tough price for the Knicks to meet or match, and I would assume that they wouldn't be able to get that deal done. And then you look at your other options. They have been in touch with Preston Achiuwa. Achiuwa has drawn interest from several contenders. I believe he has a couple offers on the table there. Now, let's see where Achiuwa goes in the next few days. But nonetheless, Knicks need to fill that backup 5 position after losing Isaiah Hartenstein. Mikal Bridges will meet the media in Tarrytown on Tuesday. Sean Marks, Nets GM, saying that Mikal Bridges did not request a trade or ask to leave. And I just want to address that for a minute because.
So obviously that was from the Knicks point of view. And I do think it's interesting, Chris. Walker Kessler, what is he, 23 years old? Something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, he's very young.
Yeah, 23.
So you're bringing him on to be a backup with the assumption that he'll eventually be a starter, correct? That's what all these teams are thinking?
I don't necessarily think so, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, he can definitely be on the bench. He's still on his rookie contract, so you can kind of have a couple more years of team control of him before you have to pay him. And no, I mean, I don't necessarily think he has to be a starter at all. I would think funny enough, he's going to or Knicks have interest in him. I would think it's like a Isaiah Hartenstein kind of role.
Mm-hmm.
He could definitely start for you if you wanted, but I think ideally he's coming off the bench for good teams.
No, I mean, eventually, because he's so young, we're going to cultivate him. And
maybe,
and
yeah.
Once he matures, because if you're giving up a first, at least, and that's the operative word, at least a first rounder, I don't know how many people that are going to give up. I mean, I guess if unless you want a really elite first, elite backup center.
Yeah.
And I saw Carmichael Dave said that he would do it.
I would do
it. Yeah, for one. You
can throw on some second round picks.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Walker Kessler's one of the best centers that you could have in terms of like a low paid, low maintenance, but high level role player. His first 2 seasons in the league, the dude has averaged over 2 blocks a game. Rookie season, he came in and averaged 2.3 blocks. And then last year he averaged 2.4 blocks. So
he had 5 blocks last night.
I'm sure I saw he blocked Zach Edey as well. Like he is a legit rim presence. I think it's just, there's not much else to him. Like he's a good rebounder for sure, but he doesn't have any face-up offensive game. He's not really a rim runner, a lob threat. He's somebody who can stand in the dunker spot, but offensively he's super limited. So I think that's kind of why I don't know if there's necessarily a future guaranteed role for him, because I don't think anybody is necessarily envisioning that guy as that kind of player as a starter in today's league, unless unless he becomes like an Isaiah Hartenstein. But I think he kind of needs to be a little bit more mobile to be a kind of guy like that. And Isaiah Hartenstein's also a ridiculous passer. Walker Kessler's only averaged under an assist per game so far.
Yeah. So, I mean, 1 first rounder and a couple second rounders, maybe you think about it. I know that there are Kings fans that are definitely interested, but the thing is, there are multiple teams interested. That was Ian Begley from a King or from a Knicks standpoint. So there are a lot of assets out there. There's also a lot of suitors and players in the mix as far as teams that want to get some of these assets. We get into the Malik Monk re-signing press conference. Chris, this one's for you. I told, hey, Johnny K, DeMarcus Cousins is playing in Taiwan, and he helped his team win win a championship. He was MVP. I told you it was Taiwan.
Great.
I told you.
Right. My bad. My fault. That superior league. My fault.
There
That's
you
my
go.
bad. I wasn't giving him enough credit.
Leave Boogie alone. Should Malik start? Also, we have his re-signing press conference. All that and more when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper. As the proud sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew, Alsco Uniforms offers certified hygienically clean lab coats, scrubs, bed linens, towels, floor mats, and an array of mops tailored for your healthcare facility. Our services include convenient delivery to your doorstep. Leading the way in healthcare laundry services in Northern California, discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's alsco.com.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 special. Rocket into the night. Friday, July 19th at 7:30 at the venue at Thunder Valley. With Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss 38 Special Live.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
The wait is over. Dell Technologies Black Friday and July deals are live. Check out incredible savings on select laptops and more, like the XPS 15, powered by Intel Core processors. The XPS 15 brings you the perfect balance of power and portability, plus stellar visuals and immersive sound. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics, plus free shipping on everything. Don't miss out on Black Friday and July savings at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
The Open Championship celebrates its 152nd anniversary this month at Royal Troon in Scotland. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. The game's top players assemble for a chance at the coveted Claret Jug. The Open Championship is about tradition, excellence, and class. And you'll find similar qualities at Naturewood Home Furnishings as they assemble the finest furniture and brand choices for your selection. When you visit Naturewood, you'll be amazed at the gallery of superior furniture available for your lifestyle, for your decor, for your home. This weekend during Naturewood's bedroom sale, you're sure to find the perfect piece you've been searching for. Naturewood is proud to bring you Open Championship updates on this station and proud to offer you the finest furnishings available. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the Waterman.
Get ready for the Kia Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. This is your chance to make it a summer to remember with incredible deals on select 2024 Sportage and Sorrento vehicles. Kia Vacaville is offering an amazing 1.9% APR for up to 48 months for well-qualified buyers. Or you'll get $1,000 bonus cash on specialty tag 2024 Sportage and Sorrento models. It's the perfect time to upgrade your ride and start your summer adventures. Imagine cruising down the highway in your new Kia from Kia Vacaville, enjoying the advanced features and comfort of the Sportage or Sorrento. Whether you're planning a road trip or just driving around town, these vehicles are designed to elevate your experience. But don't wait too long. These unbeatable deals won't last forever. Your adventure starts now at Kia Vacaville, where every journey is an adventure. Visit them today and find the perfect vehicle for your summer plans. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia Vacaville for more details.
Tune in to Sacktown Sports now through July 9th for all your coverage of the California Classic, brought to you in part by Clean California. Remember, just one piece of litter can ruin the game. 0 litter is the goal.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Tickets for Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner, coming up at 1:15 right after the DeMar DeRozan press conference, which will air live here on Sacktown Sports, the flagship, and then Chris and I will hop back on in there. So if you remember, what was that? Was that 2 weeks ago, guys? Or was that last week, the Caesar salad?
Yeah, it was on the 4th. I think it was the 4th is actually the anniversary of the season. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about your Caesar salad incident.
Yes.
Yes. I thought you were talking
Was that
about
last week?
That was the Wednesday when no one was here.
Yes.
So that was the 3rd because the Thursday was the 4th.
Right.
So update on that. I had a pesto pasta salad, which is very good, by the way.
Tiny too. Really small.
So I fire it up during the break here, and Nate just looks at me with just the eyes of death. And he says, do not open that in there. So I'm a grown man standing up, eating my pasta salad in the hallway.
Outside.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's crazy is that's where you opened it last time. You were eating out there, and it stunk up the whole building.
It is true.
So I don't know.
It's the whole building.
Oh, it was. Oh, I mean, you couldn't go anywhere.
Now it's the whole building.
I think is still.
No, I was in the warehouse in the corner.
The fan's broken.
Smell it.
Yeah, it broke the fan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Spending too much.
So now I have to eat my lunches. Only me.
Yep.
I have to eat all my lunches
in
the hallway, standing up.
Yeah.
It's not even good for me to eat that fast.
Yeah.
Not supposed to eat that fast.
Maybe you can tell Drapes to join us for crosstalk sometime while you're out there.
I eat early, not during Drake time. Okay, well, it is what it is. Fine.
I think you just said Drake. Was that a Freudian slip? Said Drake time.
If he's the LeBron James, he's probably also the Drake.
Yeah, and he
also
Drake won. He said, yeah. So
he did.
Michael Baldacci on the sack chat. You heat up the pasta salad? No, I'm eating it cold, alone, in the hallway,
and that's your fault. You deserve it.
But Nate can eat pizza at 10 a.m. in the.
Hey, he's by himself in there.
Yeah,
just him and, well, I guess for
does it stink?
Him, but
I wouldn't know. Apparently,
yeah, you're not allowed in here.
I don't want to go in there with your pizza. All right, Malik Monk says that he wants to start and could voice that if he feels he needs to. Now, again, this was Chris, right before the announcement of DeMar DeRozan. So I don't know if he's changed his tune, but this is what he had to say in his re-signing press conference.
Of course, I want to start, but I'm coming here free-minded and do whatever the team needs me to do. But if I feel like I need to start, I might voice it because now I got to voice a little bit. I can say something that'll stand. But yeah, I'm still coming in free-minded and coming here to win games.
That sounds to me like he knew that the Kings were going to make some type of move. Mm-hmm. I think he was essentially saying, if they don't do anything, then I should start. But if they do something a la DeMar DeRozan, then let's have a conversation in some capacity. Obviously, DeMar DeRozan could play anywhere from the 2 through the 4.
Right.
But it sounds to me like Malik Monk was preparing to not start, assuming that Monty McNair was going to get something done. Now, the question is whether this move specifically makes Malik Monk feel like he doesn't have to start or that he still should. Because you can make the argument with only one basketball, Malik, you're probably going to get more opportunity coming off the bench rather than if you started. You're probably just going to be a spot-up shooter at that point.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely think it's intriguing. I mean, I wonder if he, to your point, if he knew about DeMar, signing with the team beforehand. I think I'm kind of reading it from it the same that you are. I think that it's Malik pretty much saying, yeah, like if things go bad, I'm not just going to sit on the bench as things are going bad. And you can't just tell me, well, we have to have continuity here more than ever.
Right.
That's where Malik is kind of saying like, no, I've got a little bit of say here now that I'm going to be here a while. And I'm not afraid to say, no, Mike, bump all that. What we're doing ain't working. Let's try something new. And I'm the most obvious kind of addition to that lineup. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really taking it as anything different than what we've heard from Malik before. I'm trying to find what he exactly said. Here we go. And here's the quote that he had. When was this? This was written in March from the Anthony Slater article where he initially kind of talked about wanting to start. He said he doesn't necessarily love the fact that he never starts. Hell no, Malik laughs. Hell no, I don't like it, but it's what I got to do for us to win and play better. So I just take the role head on. That really isn't a glowing review of him coming off the bench either.
Right.
And I don't really read from it much different than how he did then. I think that it's just Malik saying, yeah, of course, I'm a proudful NBA player. I would like to start, but I understand that it's above me. It's not my decision. If I pout about it, if I let it affect my play, well, then I'm definitely not going to start. So if I am truly wanting to start one day in this league, the best way of doing it is putting my head down and continuing to do what I do. And he does it really well. So I don't really think that this is necessarily new news, but I do think it's interesting that this is now the second time we've heard Malik bring this up.
Right. And look, depending on what you think the Kings' ceiling is currently, riding pine or coming off the bench for a 9 seed is not the same as coming off the bench for a 4 seed.
Absolutely.
Or a 3 seed. And that might be part of it as well for Malik Monk. Maybe he felt like at times, why am I coming off the bench when we're not really that good either?
Yeah, right? Exactly.
But if they're cooking to start.
Yeah, when we're the 3 seed.
Exactly. And even right now, I mean, that's the tough thing, right? It is about fit. And I was never on this side prior to getting DeMar DeRozan, but now that the Kings have DeMar DeRozan, I think I am more on the side of Kevin Huerter. If they keep Kevin Huerter and as presently constructed, yeah, Kevin Huerter would make more sense to start. Mm-hmm. It just would make more sense. You need the spacing. You don't need the playmaking. And that's, I guess, in a weird way, one less mouth to feed. You can feed it, but it's not as necessary as Malik Monk. So as presently constructed, I probably would have Malik Monk coming off the bench, but that can change if they make another move or not change. Because if they, I mean, here's the thing. Let's say they make a move for, I think the more I think about it, I don't see a world where another move would help Malik Monk starting. Because if they move off of, because of the flexibility of DeMar DeRozan, if they move off of Kevin Huerter, you could start DeMar DeRozan at the 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't see how, unless they say the same and they just say, hey, Malik, based on what you did, based on what you did for us last season, you're going to start over Kevin Huerter. Any move that involves Kevin Huerter will be for another starter.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how there's any path to Malik Monk to start if they make another move.
Yeah, no, I mean, even if they don't, I mean, I still think Keon Ellis is honestly above Malik Monk when it comes to the starting lineup. Like, I don't, my feelings, especially with DeMar in the starting lineup, if anything, it stamps for me that Malik makes no sense in that starting lineup, even more so now than he did before because of the staggering. Like, you can't, there is only one ball, and like Malik and DeRozan do kind of both play similar secondary playmaker roles where, you know, they're a bit wasted as spot up shooters. So I think it still stands. Like you play De'Aaron, DeMar, and Sabonis the first 6 to 7 minutes of the game. You check out De'Aaron and you put in Malik and you kind of run from there. I just don't think you can have all 4 guys who do have to have the ball or like to have the ball in their hands on the floor at the same time. To me, I think Keon makes even more sense with DeMar in the starting lineup. To me, again, a guy who is very low maintenance, doesn't need shots, and brings a defensive edge, especially with DeMar out there, who's a bit of a, as we're being sold, a defensive, I'll just say liability for ease of conversation. You need Keon out there to go guard the best players. And I think, if anything, that means that Malik definitely, to me, isn't starting regardless of whether they make another move or not. If they make another move, 100%, I'm right with you. Like, it cements it for me.
Yeah, it's really a matter of fit versus, I guess, production, because I do think Malik is was a more productive player than Kevin Huerter in 2024 or in 2023, 2024. But the fit is the question. And our own Brendan Nunez, Sacktown Sports Kings insider, who is as locked in as anybody when it comes to the Sacramento Kings, he put it to us like this. The circles around the Kings, currently the thought process is that Malik will come off the bench. And he told us that before the DeMar DeRozan move. So everybody knew a move was going to be made. And the thought was that Malik would still come off the bench. Maybe it doesn't end up happening, but that's what we heard from our guy Brendan. We'll have Brendan on later in the week to kind of break all that down. But I mean, it makes sense, right? From a fit standpoint, it makes sense. Maybe it would be different if the piece you got was different, but with that piece being DeMar DeRozan, it does make it a bit tough for Malik to get his, if you will. Hey, Malik, do you want to start and get less touches, or do you want to continue to be sixth man, hopefully avenge your sixth man that you should have got last season and get yours whenever you want? That's really what it comes down to. Coming up next, Best in the West, we get back into that Monty Poole article as he ranks the Kings 16 and the Golden State Warriors 15. But let's focus on the rest of the West. What tier do you put the Kings in? And I tell the story of my buddy who thinks we should be more optimistic as a Kings fan base. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Keep your family cool and comfortable this summer with Bell Brothers' best summer ever financing event. When you replace your AC system, we're offering 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on approved credit, then low fixed rate thereafter. That's right, 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on any new AC system. It's an incredible offer on an incredible new AC system, but only for a limited time. This offer is also available on any plumbing, water heater, or insulation projects over $1,000. So call Bell Brothers now. Your family will thank you because they'll be cool and comfortable. But you have to hurry. Our offer for 0 payment, 0 interest for 6 months, then low fixed rate thereafter ends soon. Estimates and second opinions are free. So call now to keep your family cool and comfortable during Bell Brothers' best summer ever event. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com. That's theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh, good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits, and if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spas Sizzling Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzling Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sacktown Sports.
Live and local. Live and local. This is Sacktown Sports.
DeMar DeRozan press conference in an hour. We'll have that for you live here on Sacktown Sports. 1:15 giveaway to see Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner, at the venue, Thunder Valley. So you don't want to miss that. Chris Watkins. I had a buddy.
Allen Stiles.
I had a buddy, and he's a Warrior fan, right? From Bay Area guy. And, you know, we were talking after the show yesterday, and I was telling him about the show, the energy, good show, great show. And I told him, you know, that we discussed the team still possibly being a 6th seed or 5th seed, with the possibility of getting to that top tier.
Yeah.
And he says to me, I don't really understand. And this is a guy who doesn't even know the ins and outs he doesn't know how much we regard Keegan Murray.
Okay.
Right. He doesn't even know kind of the second layer. He just knows the main guys.
Okay.
And he says, how do you have a top 5 center, a top 5 shooting guard, and a top 10 point guard, and you're talking about 6th seed, 5th seed, maybe getting into that top tier? And he threw it back to me. I said, you know what? That's kind of a good question. Now, I know we did this yesterday with the quote unquote shooting guards with DeMar. Maybe he's more top 10 shooting guard, closer to 10 than to 5. But
I'd have him closer to 5.
Okay, well, there you go. Even more so. So you have DeMar, you have Sabonis, top 5 center. De'Aaron Fox, based on who is a quote-unquote point guard, I would put him in the top 10.
Yeah.
So why, when we talk to somebody like Jason Ross, who said they could be the 1 seed, they could be they could be in the play-in again, why do we feel like that? What is this team missing? Do they actually need to make another move? What is the holdup with feeling like this team could make a run when you have 3 guys of that caliber? And then to that point, he didn't even mention, I told him, yeah, and you got Keegan Murray who might take a leap. And he didn't, and then he did bring up at one point Malik Monk, who has really taken his play to another level. So I'm sitting there thinking, maybe you're not wrong. Maybe you're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, we talked about it a bit yesterday. Like I think there's belief that they can be that, but I think it's just, I mean, the reality is it's the Western Conference and how deep it is and how many other opponents there are. And, you know, I think the other problem is what's the furthest that DeMar DeRozan has made it in the playoffs? What's the furthest that De'Aaron Fox has made it in the playoffs? What's the furthest Sabonis has made it in the playoffs? Same with Malik Monk. All those guys have never made it past the first round. So, you know, it's just tough to say with all conviction when the Timberwolves in their first year of real success make it all the way to the conference finals. Dallas improves their team in 2 months and then makes the NBA finals. OKC is a team that's still on the rise. I think that it's just the other teams out there. It has really nothing to do with Sacramento and how they've built their situation. It's more just that the talent and the opponents out there are at an incredibly high level, and the Kings are doing a great job. And that's why I think I would say that they could finish as high as a 1 seed in a certain universe. But I just think that the reality is there's a lot of other really good teams there, and the Kings are imperfect. Like they aren't really built like a perfect puzzle. There are some questions about their defense and about some of the offensive fits. And I don't have as many questions about the spacing, but I think there are some questions to be had about the spacing. So I think it's just they're an imperfect team, and the things that they don't do well are pretty obvious and pretty exploitable.
Yeah, I think the two main things, defense and the rest of the West. Those are the two biggest question marks right now. Because, even when you break down, and we got on our guy Monty Poole yesterday for ranking the Warriors above the Kings 15 and 16. I mean, even when you look at the rest of the West, you got who can you confidently put the Kings in front of? Confidently, you got OKC. I can't. We could do this as King of the Hill. OKC. I can't put the Kings above OKC. Denver. I want to, but as of right now, I can't.
Can't say
confidently. So now they're at 3. Dallas. Now they're at 4. I can't put them in front of Dallas.
Not confidently.
I think
Dallas is a bit overrated right now.
I would agree. Minnesota.
Not confident.
Now I sounded like Joe Biden.
Minnesota.
So now you're at the 5th seed already, and you still have the Suns, who could eventually figure this thing out.
Suns can say everything that your friend said about the Kings. They have a top 5 power small forward. They have a top 5 shooting guard. You could argue they have top 10 shooting guards.
Then you have Phoenix. Confidently? I don't know about confidently. Clippers?
I think they're better than the Clippers.
Clippers, yes. Yeah. So now you're in 6. Okay, you're in 6 right now. Lakers, as presently constructed. I
would say confidently over the Lakers.
You would?
Yes, yeah.
And then you have the Pelicans, who they haven't beat the Pelicans
beat the hell out of them last year.
Since my kid was literally not even born yet.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Think the Kings are beating the Pelicans in your daughter's lifetime.
Then you still have the Warriors, who have tried to make some noise. You got the Grizzlies, who are going to come back.
Yep.
You got Houston, and then from there, San Antonio and Utah. So
there's
it's
no
tough.
easy
It's
nights.
literally what Jason Ross said.
Yeah.
Anywhere from 1 to 7.
I think so. I mean, I think so. I think that it's going to be a really tough West. And to me, again, it has nothing to do. You used to say it all the time. Like, if you're not getting worse, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And the Kings got better, definitely. So they aren't falling out of the standings, but everybody else is getting better too. And I think that's the issue in the West right now. Is just these teams are so top heavy. And then the teams that are at the bottom of the West are really, really freaking competitive. Like Utah, if they still are going to keep Laurie, still have Laurie and Walker Kessler and Jordan Clarkson and, Colin Sexton can get you on a given day. Portland, I don't think is very good, but who knows if Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharp, everybody's got somebody.
Spurs now.
Spurs, of course.
I don't even think I said the Rockets.
No, everybody's got something that can make your day go really, really badly. And I think that's just not the case in the East. I mean, you look at the East, I can name 5. Every team that is in the, oh my gosh, I saw a great name for the tanking for capture the flag. I love it so much. Everybody that's in the capture the flag race right now is in the East. Like, I can confidently say Toronto's not trying to win games. I can confidently say I guess I can't confidently say Chicago's not trying to win. I don't think Atlanta's trying to win basketball games. I think that a lot of the teams in the Eastern Conference right now are at the bottom are planning to stay at the bottom. And in the West, I think everybody can reasonably convince themselves that they can at least sneak into a play. Even the San Antonio Spurs can say, maybe not the Blazers, but the Spurs are pretty much the line to me where there's a world where the Spurs can win 40 games, 41 games perhaps. I think that's about the cap, but everybody in the West is competitive, and I think that's ultimately the problem with the Kings is there's going to be – I don't know if they stick out above the rest. I kind of feel like they're much like the Clippers and the Mavericks were last year, where they're better than this middle class tier, but I don't think that they're quite in the top dog race yet.
Yeah, and it's messed up to say because you're not supposed to continue to look backwards, but if you make this move last season, if Monty does, it's probably looked at a bit differently. I don't know if it ends up. I don't know how different it ends up because the West was so ridiculous. But yeah, you're making a move. The DeRozan move was just to hang in there.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
you can look at it like that versus to, oh wow, now they've gotten to a completely different level. This was just to get back into the party.
Yeah,
you got timed out. Hey, take a breather.
Yep.
You got to step out the club for a little bit, get some fresh air. This just lets you out of the penalty box and let you back in the club before that last song plays. 916-339-1140. Let's go to David. Wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, David? What you got for us?
Skull, baby.
Skull. Come on now.
What's up? Yep, every week. Hey, guys, listen, this was a great move because DeRozan brings an element to this team that's going to be, it's going to be huge. But I think the reason why everybody's kind of still like, well, it's because we saw last year in the playoffs or in the play-in, and the team that always sticks out in my mind more than any other team is New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Their length just destroyed us every single time. And it's like Monty has this habit of making a couple moves, some smaller ones. He's real guard heavy. And it's like until he dresses that pogo stick for rim blocker, rim runner, shot blocker, rebounder, defensive guy down low next to Sabonis that can maybe stretch the floor a little bit and stay out of Sabonis's way. I think that's when things change. And Markkanen would have been perfect. That guy would have stretched the floor. I mean, that would have been an instant, I think, top 2 team right there if we would have landed him or if we still would. But I think until we land that length that we need, we're going to struggle. I mean, I wouldn't say struggle, but we're going to have a harder time. New Orleans has got all those guys that are tall at every position. I know they've lost a few people or, maybe, but they're tough for us. And that's a team that's in my mind. I mean, to me, they're tougher than Dallas for us. I mean, we played Dallas pretty good, but that length, I think, is what's killing us, and that athleticism in the front court. Like Lyles is great. He's not exactly terribly athletic, but he's a solid player. He's gritty. He can hit threes. He can do all that stuff, but he's still not that 6'10", 6'11" guy that we really need down low. Once we get that, even if it's semi-scrubby, if he can come in and give us 10 or 12 good minutes like Lynn does, but a more athletic version of that, then I think then we can talk about we'll be in the upper echelon. I don't know what you guys think, but that's my thoughts.
Yeah, thanks for the call. Thanks for the call, David. I agree with David. It's just a matter of how you get there. Yeah. The Lauri Markkanen thing, and we read it off not too long ago. They've already turned down, or I don't know if the offer's still on the table. It didn't say who the team was from Brett Siegel of Clutch Points. 3 first-rounders. Somebody offered that to the Jazz. We don't know who or if it's still on the table. Chris, I was thinking about this just real quick about Sabonis at the 4.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked so much about the spacing and his inability to stretch the floor.
Yeah.
And I think you've brought this up before, but we haven't really highlighted it for all the Sabonis 4 people. That would mean he has to guard 4s.
Guard 4s, yes.
And that's just not it.
That's not it at all. And that's the problem. As much as people I think Jerry always says it, you can play in terms of when they say, oh yeah, this guy can guard 1 through 4s or whatever, or can Keegan play the 4 or is he more of a 3? Jerry Reynolds always says you play what you can guard. And Domantas Sabonis can only guard 5s, which is why he is a 5. He's not fast enough. He's not mobile enough to be on the perimeter every single play and switch out on the guards and play against some of the faster forwards in the league. He has to play center. And Lauri Markkanen, I love Lauri Markkanen's offensive ability, but everything that we're saying about DeMar DeRozan to me still applies to Lauri Markkanen too. He definitely stretches the floor. It's not on the offensive side, but all of the defensive concerns that we have bringing in DeMar DeRozan are not patched up at all by Lauri Markkanen. I think if anything, you're leaning even more so
you're getting
into this only offense, only offense, which I don't have a problem with, but I just thought that as a group, as a collective, we decided that the Kings weren't going to do that. I thought we decided it was fun, but it wasn't a realistic path to winning. And I would just be a little bit surprised if that's the direction that we go wholeheartedly, especially full throttle, just because I think there's still a lot of questions. Of course, Lauri's a huge talent upgrade, but I just don't think that solves everything.
Coming up next, there are still question marks from the national media as far as the DeMar DeRozan fit. And one Chicago pundit decides that this isn't about the Kings or the Bulls. It's about another team. I'll let you guess who that is. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downey are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/TC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
In an hour, we will have an opportunity for you to win tickets to see Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner, is coming to Sacktown. We want you to be in the building next Friday for the 38 special experience. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline at 1:15, and Chris will pick the number. We're going to get into this around the horn sound, Chris, but Kevin Pelton you have here also isn't that high on the Kings move. And look, it's not that we don't get it. You know what I was thinking, Chris, and Kevin Pelton, writer for ESPN and being WNBA writer. You know what I was thinking? I think this is the most fair assessment of the DeMar DeRozan deal, okay? Last season, we talked about some of the bad losses where you lose to the Hornets, you lose to the Blazers, you lose to the Pistons. And we said, because that is something that I do think is fair. The idea of beating those teams in the West, the Kings, weirdly enough, kind of took care of business to some degree in a really loaded West. They won games that a lot of people didn't think they were going to win, right? They showed up in certain stances. There were games where they could have shown us that they could get to the next level, going to when they went to Miami and places like that, and they weren't able to pull that off. And that's fine. But if you remove the games that they lost, that they should not have lost, they're probably a 5 seed, and I think that's the safest way to look at it. DeMar DeRozan, in theory, should keep you from losing those terrible games, which if you do what you did last season, and think about it, Keegan down year 3-point wise, Kevin Huerter down year shooting wise, and you still were in the Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter injuries, and you were still in the hunt. So if you just have a little bit better luck and a little bit better production and you don't lose games that you're not supposed to, that's what I feel like a 5 seed feels. A 5 seed with an opportunity to do a Mavericks type run feels the safest to me, because we're not saying you're going to go on any crazy, 20 game winning streaks. You're going to win some games that maybe teams didn't think you were going to win, and you're going to win the games that you're supposed to. Last season, they did win some games that other people and teams didn't think they were going to. but they lost games that were just complete head scratchers. Hopefully it just removes the head scratching losses.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the hope is that he can definitely hit some free throws. I think that's a really big part of it. I mean, we heard De'Aaron say it, Mike Brown said it. Like, if they believe that if they were to just shoot league average from the free throw line, they would have had 50 wins. And DeMar is definitely, it's the first thing I pointed out when the rumors came out, was he takes 7.5 a game and hits it at 85%. That's a really good way. That was the best way. That was, as we were pleading, guys, call us, help us. What do we do to get better at free throws? The simplest thing is get somebody who takes a lot of them and makes a lot of them. And that's exactly what they did. So I think that in itself could help you win. 50 games can definitely, that can definitely be the mark. There's also the fact of, we were talking about the clutch thing earlier, that swings games as the Kings are projected. If you look at, the 538s of the world, the season projection, win projections, it's going to be a lot of 46, 47 wins. But the thing that can change that projection is, oh man, these guys are outliers in the clutch. We didn't account for the fact that the Kings are so much better than everybody else in clutch situations that won them an additional 2 to 4, 5 games. And that's how you go from potentially a 50-win team with the free throws to now you're a 54, 55-win team with those different clutch numbers. I definitely think that there's a good path here for DeMar to make some real impact in some ways that maybe we weren't really anticipating. And I think playmaking is another way in which DeMar can definitely take this thing to another level.
So let's get to this Kevin Pelton situation. And he gave the Kings a what?
Gave them a C+, which is better than a D-. Okay, we're getting better. But I think it's important to note because there's obviously a lot of people who understand DeMar is a big talent and think that this is a big acquisition for the Kings. But I think it's important to highlight some of the I wouldn't even say naysayers, but people who have questions about if this is necessarily all about talent and the fit, and if we should really be thinking about some of the outside circumstances. And I think that's really where Pelton's getting. He writes in here, the Kings took advantage of a weak market to get DeRozan at what should be an excellent contract for constructing a 3-team sign-and-trade deal. Coming off 2 All-Star appearances during 3 seasons in Chicago, DeRozan will make less per year during his new deal than Nick Claxton and Isaiah Hartenstein got as free agents. DeRozan handled the ball 410 minutes last season, which is 17th highest according to Second Spectrum. Fox ranked 10th with 473. That's something we mentioned in Sam Quinn's article. And really, it is a lot of the same concerns. So there's the amount of time in which DeRozan has the ball in his hands. Does that affect De'Aaron Fox? He also goes on to mention DeRozan off the ball and how, okay, let's say De'Aaron is the one who's going to have the ball in his hands. DeRozan isn't a good three-point shooter. He shot just 33% from downtown since 17-18, and the Kings go from Barnes, who made nearly twice as many threes with 149 and shot 39% beyond the arc. So again, asking, yesterday Sam Quinn wrote, this is messing up your one of the best lineups in the NBA by plus minus. DeRozan being in there as well affects how that lineup operates. Is it as efficient as a lineup? Also writes in there, and this is a big part, is the 2031 pick swap. Although DeRozan should have trade value on his contract, Sacramento also gave up something costly to convince the Spurs to take back Barnes and facilitate this trade. Swap writes in 2031, when Victor Wembanyama will be in the middle of his prime at age 27. The Kings better hope they're good in 2030-31, or Wembanyama is playing for another team, because that is a massive potential downside. And then he wraps up by saying, it's up to DeRozan to continue evolving his game in his mid-30s. He'll be 35 in August, and staving off aging to make this sign and trade a winner for Sacramento. And again, gives them a C+, gives the San Antonio Spurs an A, and gives the Bulls a C. So there you go. Kevin Pelton, who is a well-respected basketball mind, has some doubts. And I think it's really all the same doubts that Sam Quinn laid out yesterday with his D-, really just the overall fit, the lack of spacing, the ball in DeRozan's hands, less than what he's normal or used to. And then, of course, the 2031 pick swap seem to be the biggest concerns from the naysayers.
And that's what it's been. That's what it's been. We get all that, and We'll see how it turns out. A C+. I mean, it's not a straight up first rounder, right, or anything like that. It is a swap, but
it could be nothing. It could literally end up being nothing.
It could be nothing, but that one felt less egregious than Sam Quinn.
Yeah,
and really, it's really about what the actual grade was, because they essentially said similar things.
Same thing.
It was just about how
dire you feel like it is. How bad.
Yes, you've ruined.
Like
You've literally ruined everything. You've literally ruined everything. We have some notes on Devin Carter, who is going to have surgery. We also have that sound from the Chicago pundit that thinks this isn't about the Spurs, the Bulls, or the Kings. Coming up next. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Celebrate July 4th with savings at Lowe's. For a limited time, save on the essentials you need to make your garden pop for summer, like Miracle-Gro 25-quart potting mix. Get 2 bags for just $16. And get up to 40% off, plus save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. Hurry, these deals won't last long, because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Miracle-Gro excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount, excluding supply. See Lowe's.com for more details. While supplies last.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
Right now, while you're sitting on the couch or just driving around, your friends are at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range powered by Top Tracer. The vibe is perfect, whether you're an accomplished player or a newbie. Play a variety of fun games, play Pebble Beach, or compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range. Hungry? The Hangout Food Truck offers burgers, chicken strips, and more. Check the summer-long free concert schedule. Be a part of the fun at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, open until midnight.
Your water heater, old, rusty, forgotten, we hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
Tune in to Sacktown Sports now through July 9th for all your coverage of the California Classic, brought to you in part by Clean California. Remember, just one piece of litter can ruin the game. 0 litter is the goal.
Slash presents Serpent Festival, a celebration of the blues. Friday, July 12th at the venue at Thunder Valley, starring Slash, Warren Haynes Band, Samantha Fish,
Y'all guesses like a death wish.
and Eric Gales. It's gonna be a steep climb. Don't miss an all-star night of blues, Friday, July 12th at the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit thundervalleyresort.com. Serpent Festival.
Tune in to Sacktown Sports now through July 9th for all your coverage of the California Classic, brought to you in part by Alsco Uniforms, proud partner of the Sacramento Kings. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
The Open Championship celebrates its 152nd anniversary this month at Royal Troon in Scotland. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. The game's top players assemble for a chance at the coveted Claret Jug. The Open Championship is about tradition, excellence, and class. And you'll find similar qualities at Naturewood Home Furnishings as they assemble the finest furniture and brand choices for your selection. When you visit Naturewood, you'll be amazed at the gallery of superior furniture available for your lifestyle, for your decor, for your home. This weekend during Naturewood's bedroom sale, you're sure to find the perfect piece you've been searching for. Naturewood is proud to bring you Open Championship updates on this station and proud to offer you the finest furnishings available. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
So Courtney Cronin made some waves yesterday, partly because of myself. Dave will love this one. Whenever I run on the treadmill, Chris, because it's too hot, whenever I run on the treadmill, I got to watch something. I can't do the virtual, I'm in the city and I'm on a beach. I just have to watch something.
Yeah, for sure.
So I figured, I don't get to watch. It used to be my go-to. You fire up Around the Horn, you fire up PTI. That's how a lot of us grew up. And I said, okay, you know what? The Kings actually did something big. Right. Let me see what the national media has to say about it. So I fire up Around the Horn after our show yesterday. And some of them, to be fair, they did have some good things to say. It was whether or not it was buy or sell, whether or not this moved the needle or not. But what stuck out to me was Courtney Cronin, who does a lot for ESPN. I think she also does local stuff in Chicago. This is what she had to say when she was asked about the Kings move for DeRozan.
I'm buying that we finally know who DeRozan is, but unfortunately for Lakers fans, DeMar DeRozan is not going back to his hometown of Los Angeles, that we ended up finding out from that cameo in Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us video last week. This doesn't move the needle for me with the Sacramento Kings. They're still 21st in defensive efficiency. They haven't fixed those issues. They're not a player away. They're still in play territory. To me, this is a much bigger indictment on the Los Angeles Lakers and the state of their offseason, considering that DeMar DeRozan was one of those names that had been linked as a possible second wave signing, and he ends up going way up north.
She got points for that Lakers comment. Did you hear the number go up?
She was, I guess, trying to be different.
How'd she get points for just finding out that that's what Kendrick was referring to? I'm shocked at the amount of people who didn't. I understood initially.
D-Rose sounds like Derrick Rose.
D-Rose, Derrick Rose, and then I realized that doesn't make any sense. And I don't know. I didn't think it was that hard.
Like us.
First off, so she started off on a terrible note by just learning that from the music video, and then I don't even necessarily think she's wrong. I do think she has a point. It's just not the time to bring it up.
Right.
I do think that it's pretty damning that the Lakers couldn't get this kid who DeMar DeRozan has talked about coming home for a while, and he has not. The fact that he overlooked this Lakers situation, which was just a perfect situation for him to walk into if they would have competently put together a team that would have been worth going to. I do actually kind of think that she's right on that. I would say that it's just like the Gilbert Arenas thing. It's just well, sure, you can have those feelings, but can we just talk about the actual trade right now? Just for this 25 seconds here. Can we just talk about your actual thoughts on the trade, which he eventually got to? But
yeah, and Tony Reale, I don't know him personally, but he does feel like a guy who tries to buck the trend of what gets talked about as far as ESPN and how they always obsess over LeBron and obsess over the Lakers and things like that. So I would have really liked for reality to, and I'm not just making this up, somebody did comment on my post yesterday that it would have been nice if Reale docked her points for finding a way to bring up the Lakers when we don't ever talk about the Kings. Right. So the one time we do talk about the Kings, you find a way to talk about the Lakers. And some people were saying, well, maybe that's because she didn't do the homework. I would imagine how these things
probably be what I guess.
Yeah, and I would imagine how these things go. And Clinton Yates, I don't know, an acquaintance of mine, I have his phone number.
Okay. Friend of the show.
Yes, a future friend of the show. We can talk to him about I've been meaning to get him on the show to talk about the ins and outs of Around the Horn, but I would imagine it's pretty similar because it's a different squad every day.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that you probably get the list of things that are happening, and a Monday is bigger than normal.
For sure.
So you probably get that list, I don't know, Monday morning?
Probably.
Because it airs at, I think, 2:30.
Something like that.
Right, our time. So I would say you probably get, hey, guys, here's a list, or you get told, okay, you're going to be on these days this week. This is what we're talking about today. And she's got a couple hours to get her points off and figure out what she wants to say. And I think that she said, okay, look, I found this, and I saw people going back and forth. Well, weren't they 14 in defensive efficiency? She was using a metric from ESPN, which had them 21st. Okay. So that was the main thing she took.
So a number that she was given.
Probably, yes. So that was the main number she had, and then said, I don't think they're a player away. And to be fair, do we think that they were only one player away? No. And then after that, she goes, let's just go into Lakerland because that's
playing the hits.
I'm playing the hits.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm playing the hits.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I think it'd be great, but I think this is kind of the not the downfall of Around the Horn, but I mean, sometimes they'll have very specific, and I honestly, this is more, I don't know a lot about Courtney Cronin, but yeah, I mean, I just know that they have a lot.
She's the one who dropped the F-bomb.
I don't remember that. No,
she had a hot mic. I think it was at the Combine?
Really?
And it wouldn't work. Remember the connection? No. We didn't play it on the air, but the connection wouldn't work. And she was like, bleep this, but she was still hot. Okay. She was still hot on the mic.
So she's a football person also. Because that's kind of where I was going, is I know that sometimes Around the Horn, they'll have it'll be Mina Kimes has definitely proven she can talk more than just football.
Yes,
but
that's fair.
They'll have
that's
people
fair.
who are specialists in their they'll have Emmanuel Acho on, and it's like, all right, well, Emmanuel Acho's bag is football. I'm not saying he knows nothing about basketball, but if we're going to say, hey, yeah, here's this very, very specific basketball situation, I'm not really expecting Emmanuel Acho to have the best takes on it, is more where I'm getting at. So I mean, yeah, I think it was just a really bad. She clearly wasn't ready for it, and the fact that,
and she still kind of, in a nutshell, said what a lot of the.
I think so. Yeah,
like
they're still
said,
a team away.
We've
or player away.
We've read 2 reports so far, 2 grades, and they've all said the same thing. So she says, okay, what are the main points on what people are saying about this trade? Okay, they still need defense. They're not a player away, and spacing.
Yep.
And that's all I really need to hit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's whatever, but it just you would want that on a day where the Kings, like you said, I mean, they're not talked about often. They're not talked about well, and when they are talked about, it's not in a positive light very often. This is what feels like something that could be just an easy win. Just say, hey, yeah, good talent for Sacramento to get, and it should be fun to watch them play offense. But yeah, no, I mean, it's very fitting. I think you said it at the start of the show. For some reason, people just hate Sacramento. I don't know what it is. I don't know what we did to people, but people just have bad things to say about us when the city's been nothing but good and perfectly fine to everybody.
Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to, these other places, you're supposed to hate on LA.
Yeah.
You're supposed to hate on Miami, New York.
Yeah, San Francisco.
What's
Why
the point?
Sacramento? Why?
I don't understand.
It's just dunking on a middle child, It's just okay.
But why don't people hate, Omaha or something?
It's a great question.
Or,
I don't know.
Or Milwaukee, I don't know.
It's the blessing and a curse, I guess, of being in California is that, we're still in a big pool, but, we're not necessarily a big fish in that pool. And so it's just people think, oh, LOL, what are you guys? What are you? It's the, big fish, little pond.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing, but honestly, the inverse. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're in California, but you guys aren't really you're not really California. You're not what I think about. And so it's, I guess it's easy in that sense. Again, it's like picking on the little brother. It's just, it's easy, and there's not a big enough voice that's going to come out and say, what are you doing crapping on my city? You don't know. It's a win-win for a lot of these people because it's funny because you're just completely trashing on a place. And then, no one's going to ever check you on it because frankly, I mean, a lot of people in media don't have a lot of strong feelings about Sacramento.
From the 530, what made the Kings go after DeRozan instead of Brandon Ingram? Was it just the next contract? Because he's literally in his prime. I think that's pretty close, 530. I really do think they didn't want to pay Brandon Ingram that type of money.
I mean, yeah, it's also value-wise, would you rather give up a ton for Brandon Ingram and then have to pay him on top of that? Or would you rather, just essentially cash in Duarte and Barnes' contract and turn that into DeRozan? And yeah, you only gave up a couple seconds in a future first that might end up being quite literally nothing. So, I mean, I just think from a value proposition, it made way more sense for that to be the route that they choose before they go out and ship off all their assets. So, I think it's more just about the asset more than the actual player itself.
Here's a note, Chris, that we wanted to get to earlier when I was referencing some of the good text that we were getting. This is from the 925. Shout out 925. DeRozan is an upgrade. But for a month plus, over a month, I listened to you guys wondering how an offense first guy would affect Keegan's development. If we aren't just trying to get into a playoff window but truly want to compete, I think we should swing big, which might mean moving Murray. Chris Watkins was on this yesterday as we broke down what this means for the rest of the roster. And I think 925 that you're moving in a direction that I think the Kings might be thinking about, right? As we discussed the Lauri Markkanen situation in April, Keegan wasn't available, right? And now with the addition of DeMar DeRozan, how much is Keegan going to? We already talked about Malik Monk, and yes, Keegan's still starting, but all of the moves and everything that we talked about Keegan developing into, are we sure he's not going to turn back into a spot-up shooter next season with DeMar DeRozan and De'Aaron Fox? So I think it's a fair question. I don't think they'll move him, but I do think it's a fair question.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely a fair question. It's just all the reports have been against the opposite side. I mean, all the reports seem to say that the Kings are still not putting Keegan on the block at all and want to hold on to him. And maybe that's just posturing to say, hey, if we do actually end up throwing this guy in there, just know it means something. And we're not just, if we are throwing him in, that's a really, really big price for us. And we're not going to trade him with 2 second-round or first-round picks or whatever. I think it's definitely something to consider, especially, the fact that you are a little bit more flexible now that you have, I would say, 4 people in front of him pretty confidently on an offensive totem pole. And then, with that being a fact that there's now DeRozan and De'Aaron and Malik, and you could say Sabonis in front of him in that pecking order, does that now change how you think he could potentially develop? Because he's not going to be getting the same chances that he was before. He's not going to get the same, hey, we're going to use the first 2 months of the season to get Keegan acclimated to having the ball in his hand and running pick and rolls as the ball handler and things like that. Do you think that that's going to affect, hey, I thought Keegan Murray can be an all-star when I thought he was going to be the third option at worst, but now that he's the 5th option at best, or I guess you can maybe say at worst as well, do you still feel like he can reach those levels? And if you feel differently and you feel like, actually with all of this talent now, I'm pretty sure Keegan is just going to fall into the background, maybe you should be more willing to trade him.
As we discuss Brandon Aiyuk coming up shortly, Chris, funny enough, it's a much lesser version of the Trey Lance conversation with the Niners, where the Niners were ready to go and Trey Lance needed time. He needed reps. Keegan is not that far behind, but Keegan could benefit from just having a runway.
Absolutely.
And you add DeMar DeRozan, and I think that runway shortens up a little bit. So I think it changes how you view what Keegan can become on this team as we use the Michael Porter Jr. comparison as far as who are you going to be in this league. Coming up next, Devin Carter to have shoulder surgery. How are you feeling about that? And as mentioned, Brandon Aiyuk with those Commanders practice tapes. He's just trying to get fined. He wants money, but he's also trying to give away money. Then 1:00, DeMar DeRozan press conference. Stiles Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
If you've been on the American River, it's uphill, it's downhill. There's trails everywhere that you can walk, and it just makes you happy. And I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. I was turning into a real crab. I went to the Good Feet store, and I tried on the arch supports. I could not believe that I was not in pain. I can walk, I can run, I can jump, I can do anything. My name's Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
18 number ones. What was I thinking? Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now, Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITBFest.com.
Brought to you by Bonnie Electrical Heating and Air and the U.S. Marines.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
You don't want to miss the Kia Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. This is your chance to drive home in a brand new Kia with leases starting as low as $169 per month. Plus, bonus cash. Whether you're eyeing the stylish Kia Soul, the versatile Kia Sportage, the luxurious Telluride, or the efficient Kia Forte, we've got the perfect model to fit your lifestyle and budget. Come into Kia Vacaville today and experience our incredible selection of vehicles, outstanding customer service, and unbeatable deals. Kia Vacaville's friendly and knowledgeable staff are here to help you find your dream car and to make the entire process seamless and enjoyable. Imagine cruising through this summer to Tahoe or the beach in a brand new spacious Kia, making memories with family and friends. Don't wait. These deals won't last long. Visit Kia Vacaville today and turn your dream into reality. Make this summer one to remember with a new Kia from Kia Vacaville. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia Vacaville for more details.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
This segment is brought to you by Kia Vacaville. Check them out at kiavacaville.com.
Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
From the 916, I feel like the Kings have their big three now. We don't need any more stars. We need role players like Boston. Hopefully our first-round pick is Derek White. We need some 3 and D. From the 209, I like the trade. Ingram has a hard time staying on the floor. I'd rather have the consistent scoring and reliability of DeMar DeRozan than maybe 60 games of Brandon Ingram. He hasn't played more than 64 games since his rookie season. Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest number that I heard from DeMar was in his 3 seasons in Chicago, he played 93% of all possible games. So, I mean, the fact that, you know, he is – and last year in his age 34 season, now you could read this one of two ways. You can either say this is incredibly impressive and shows that this is the kind of guy he is and can hold this workload, or you can say, ooh, it sounds like a lot of miles for a guy who's definitely entering the backstretch of his career. Last season at age 34, averaged 37 minutes per game, which led the NBA, and he played 77 games. That's for anybody who's concerned about, can this guy, you know, we're getting him for 35 through 37 years old. Is that concerning? I mean, you know, again, maybe you can read that as, ooh, that's a lot of miles that he put on right before he's probably going to hit a different phase of athleticism. Or you can read it as, hey, man, we're in a different age today where LeBron James is 41 years old playing for Team USA. Kevin Durant, who had 2 lower body injuries, very serious, is still playing perfectly fine at age 37. Maybe it's just not as damning as what it used to be. I think it shows that DeMar is definitely still a physical freak, and the fact that he plays 38 minutes a game at age 34 and plays 77 of those games in the season, I think that's a great sign for this Kings team who desperately needs people to play every single night.
You will hear from DeMar DeRozan in about 10 minutes for that introductory press conference. But right now, you will hear from Monty McNair. This was on draft day as far as Devin Carter and his shoulder issue.
Continue to shape the roster. But as I've continually said in the draft is not about right now. The draft is about adding somebody to our team who can be here for a long time, and we try to draft the best player available. And we look for versatile guys. I mean, Devin Carter just checks all the boxes. If you watch the playoffs this year, there are a lot of Devin Carters out there. I'll put it that way. And
so he wants someone that is going to help for a very long time, and I think because of that, they wanted to be really cautious with this injury.
I heard that more as like that was the first sign we should have known that this was that's Monty telling us before actually telling us. Like that's saying, hey, there's going to be some things that come out here. Just know we already knew, and it wasn't a part of our calculation. We did not draft this guy so he could be the MVP of Summer League. We did not draft this guy to sell tickets at the California Classic. We drafted this guy because even though we know he's going to probably need shoulder surgery and he's going to miss probably training camp and maybe the first weeks of the season, we don't care. Heard looking back, especially with 2020 vision, it feels like that was Monty prepping us to essentially say, yeah, like we're probably not going to get a lot from this guy immediately, but we have a long-term plan and we don't care about the shoulder surgery. We think he's going to be an impact player for us as soon as this year.
Here's Monty on what they knew about the injury pre-drafting Devin Carter.
So we know he's dealing with one. I think we got to get him in here and get with our doctors and just see what it is. But what we get through the draft process, our docs are confident. We've been in touch with this team. We're confident it's not a long-term issue, but we're not sure where it'll be.
Well, it ended up being surgery, and the reports were similar to Kevin Huerter's shoulder issue. So we'll see how all of that turns out, Chris. I know we've discussed what the future looks like for Devin Carter in the immediate future. Would have loved to see him during Summer League, but it is what it is. You know what's funny, though? Again, a draft that's supposed to be the worst in the last 25 years. And Monty talking about the draft is not about right now. It's about adding someone to our team that can be here for a long time. I do think it's interesting that everyone thinks that they got the one guy, or maybe there's more than one, but the one guy in this terrible draft that is going to be good. That's just how you have to think. That's why you're drafting them. But nobody drafts thinking, oh, maybe what? No, this is our guy. He's going to help. And that's the plan moving forward. He's going to help this team get to the next level. Everyone thinks that they have that guy. And the hope is that your team is right.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want him to say at the press conference?
There's nothing else to say.
I don't know. Zach Edey is a big guy.
I'm
but,
just imagining just all the conversations that we have about all the drafts. And I'm imagining all the introductory press conferences with every guy.
Rocks.
Just Nick Rocks. All the hope, the hopium that just surrounds everything around the draft. And it's funny how long. The one thing I will, and they're all on contracts, the one thing I am interested in is whether or not internally, if a guy doesn't start out as hot or whatever it is, whether the leashes on these guys will be different because it's, they were not supposed to be very good anyway. Let's not take that extra year and take that gamble. Let's move off of him because this draft wasn't supposed to be much anyway. So I think all of that is interesting. We are about to get that DeMar DeRozan press conference for you, but these last couple minutes here, guys, Brandon Aiyuk post TikTok with the Commanders practice tape. How is that legal
That's what I'm wondering so many things about this.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense because there was all those leak tapes for Trey Lance when he was making those crazy throws a couple of years ago in training camp, and I think there was an investigation about that. So this doesn't make sense to me.
It's so weird. Like, yeah, I mean, how did he obtain? I mean, I know how he did. Jaden Daniels is their quarterback,
right?
But like, yeah, how is that legal? How is that okay? Like, yeah, defenses can't. Like, if a defensive player were to post a picture of that same exact picture of them watching the Commanders film and be like, whoa, hold on, something about this feels like it's not okay. How do you have this kind of Spygate kind of information here? Of course, that's not the point of this. Brandon Aiyuk, I'm so sick of this, man. It's just like he's doing great at pissing people off. If that's what his goal is, and I don't even think it's the Niners that he's necessarily trying to piss off, but it's just like, dude, like, I get it. Everybody gets it. Everybody heard you the first time. You ain't got to scream again. We heard you. You don't want, or it's not, he's speaking out two sides of his mouth too, because he's doing all this and he's saying, no, but I want to be in San Francisco, because you're not acting like it. And so this dude, I've had enough of this. Either sign him or get off the toilet. And I'm so done with it.
Coming up next, DeMar DeRozan press conference. Don't go anywhere. Then at 1:15, around 1:15, your chance to win Lou Graham tickets. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, a special Sacramento Kings broadcast. The California Classic from the Golden One Center, featuring the Charlotte Hornets and your Sacramento Kings. Tip-off at 7 p.m. on your local sports leader, Sacktown Sports, 1140.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. But looking at the A's top prospects halfway through the season, you have to start with shortstop Jacob Wilson. Now, despite missing a month with a knee injury, he is batting a ridiculous .463. And over the last weekend in June, playing in AAA for Vegas, he went 7 for 10 with 2 doubles and 2 homers. In 11 games in the Coast League, he's batting .447.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rate supply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf.com's Allen Bastable offers 8 sneaky ways for stubbornly average players to break 80. First, play sensible tees. Hitting 7 and 8 irons into greens instead of hybrids give chances at 4s and 3s. Check the par. There's no shame in doing so on a par 70 course. 3, check the forecast. A day after rain can mean soft greens. 4, avoid big numbers. It's not the bogeys that will derail a 79. It's a couple of bigger scores. 5, you got to believe. Give yourself a pep talk and temper the feelings of gloom. 6, keep like-minded company. If you're a grinder, play with fellow grinders, or play with music, or gamble if that's your game. 7, a little luck helps. Even tour players recognize luck. 8, don't obsess over, breaking 80. You're going to know if you have a good round going, so have your partner keep score. At the 18th tee, ask where you stand, as it may affect the way you approach the hole. Sounds simple, huh? Now go out and do it. and have some fun. That's your golf to go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of innovative, newly designed tires, like the Bigfoot AT2 with improved all-terrain traction, and the Legacy All-Season Plus that keeps you on the road in any weather, with every set backed by our ProTech Plus warranty.
And right now, get $80 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Now through July 28th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. No carryouts, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spa's Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports. Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
We are patiently or impatiently awaiting DeMar DeRozan to approach the podium and give his introductory press conference. So we will have that for you once it is here. People are asking, hey, is it going to be video or just audio? We should have the video for you as well. Nate is doing his Mr. Robot thing to make that happen for us. Don't look at me like that, Nate. You never seen that show? It's a great show.
What about the movie? I thought you were referencing.
No, that's
Will Smith.
iRobot.
Oh,
that's
That's Remy Malek.
Yes, Rami
yes,
Malek.
right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Great show if you
That's
haven't.
right. Yeah, I think that was
If,
FX.
if
right?
you haven't seen it, that's USA.
USA.
Back
Oh my
I've been
in the
USA.
day.
No,
Hey,
that's crazy.
yeah.
if we're talking FX, I've been forcing Kayla to watch It's Always Sunny. We start from the beginning.
so good.
It's very fun.
It
the
is.
best.
Very
It's the
fun.
best. Yeah.
It is. And that, they had a whole Always Sunny situation at Clusterfest, which is what I told you about, where it was comedy, music, and
oh my gosh, and food.
and
Yes.
food.
Yes.
What? So another one of these?
This one, I think Chris had less of a problem with because it was straight up.
Yeah.
It was straight up about what
Yes,
it is,
yes,
even
exactly.
though so was Bottle Rock. If you're just now joining us, we are awaiting the arrival of one DeMar DeRozan. We have our eyes on the video right now, just waiting for DeMar to take the podium.
Number 10, man. Number 10.
I just saw Brendan's head
I
too
did
walk
too.
by. Yeah.
It's
It's
starting
getting
out.
live.
From the 209, Keegan is so talented. His ceiling is way higher than what he currently is. We need to feed him the ball more, prioritize his threes. He can really cook and just needs to be the main focal point for an offensive option. We need him shooting 22 shots a game at least. Our ball movement is so fluid, and we create the energy for Keegan. He can really let loose. Pair that with a couple dunks and drives. He will be our future shining star. Yeah, 209.
Luka Murray over here.
209. I think that was more realistic with the current roster. I don't with
Previous
DeMar
roster.
with the previous roster. With DeMar DeRozan now, I don't know.
De'Aaron Fox took 21 shots last year. 21 field goals a game.
Yeah. Well, how many did Keegan take?
I would guess like 12. Let's see here. Keegan took 12.7.
I know DeRozan shot like 48 or 49% last year too. So
Keegan
may not be at a high volume.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Keegan took 12.7 shots last season. Does that go up or down next season?
Down, but a little. Only a hair.
Yeah, let me see how many he took his rookie year. His rookie season, he took 9.8. This past season, 12.7. Yeah, let's split the difference. I'll say 11. So it drops. I think it drops. It's just there's a lot of mouths. I think Sabonis is honestly the one that takes the biggest step back. That dude was almost at 20 points a game last year, and that's just not his bag. He's just not a scorer at all. And I shouldn't say at all, but we saw he's pretty limited in what his post moves are. He's got great footwork, but in terms of creating space or creating a shot, it's not really where his bread is buttered. So I would guess, yeah, he takes a step back, but I would think De'Aaron's still going to hover around that 20-shot mark. I would imagine DeRozan, who has been, I think I was just looking at it, was at 17 last year, or just under 18 last year. So I would guess that he's probably 16 or 17. And yeah, I mean, I think Keegan probably falls. I think Malik probably takes more shots than him too. Yeah, I'd imagine that Keegan falls somewhere near 11, but probably is also taking a higher percentage of those shots from three. Last season, Keegan from in terms of that split, that differential, let's see here. Keegan took 12.7 shots and 6.5 of them were threes versus in his rookie season, 9.8 shots, 6.3 of them were threes. So he pretty much took the same amount of threes, but he added 3 2-point field goals a game. I would guess that, again, he's going to be at around 11 shots, but I would imagine probably like 7 or 8 of them are threes. So I would guess that it's more just less Keegan, but more of a 3-heavy diet for him.
But that's what I'm saying. Some of the things that we saw from Keegan this season, I don't know if that's going to continue.
Oh,
Some
yeah,
of the
for
things
sure.
that he said or that he did in the lane and or the step throughs, you just might get back to just checking that thing.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I definitely think he's going to take a lot less off the dribble and take a lot less, at the rim and everything like that. I just think it's going to be a more defined role. And I think it was very clear that last year Keegan was thinking way too much. And so I think it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think he's going to get comfortable. And now you can maybe make the argument he's going to progress at his own time. There's not some elevated, escalated time frame for Keegan to get to a certain point. Now it's just going to be more of a natural progression. He's going to get a certain amount of touches and a certain amount of shots. And if he does well with it, that will increase. If he doesn't do well with it, I'm sure it'll plateau at some point. So I think this is probably a better, if you want Keegan Murray to be his fully realized self, I actually think this is probably a better course to do it.
It kind of forces him into, as we always talk about on this show, are you a dude that's going to do everything, or are you going to be a specialist?
Yeah.
And that's no knock on Keegan. Most players in the league are specialists to some degree. And I think there was, we've had the Chris always wants to leave when someone brings up Jason Tatum, but this would say, hey, he's not going to be this do-it-all guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be really, really good at these 3 to 4 things. Yep. When anybody says this might not be the time, as we're waiting for DeMar DeRozan to start his press conference and arrive, when anybody says this might not be the time, I have to read it. Okay. From the 916, this might not be the time, and it's probably not very popular, but theoretically, what can we get for Sabonis?
No, I mean, I was thinking about that when we were talking about the Lauri Markkanen stuff. To me, I mean, that's getting Lauri Markkanen makes Sabonis infinitely more expendable. Because I do think a lot of their fit is not redundant, but I
thought
think
about
it's
this.
clunky. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I told Dave a while ago, I think the Kings' plan was always to get a third guy and then you kind of readjust from there. I mean, you have to see what the problem is. And I think the Kevin O'Connors of the world, many people have let it be known that a lot of people believe that Domantas Sabonis just can't be a center. You can't, it's really tough to win because you have to build so many specific pieces around Sabonis in terms of, I always talk about, you have to bring in an Evan Mobley, a Chet Holmgren to play, to really fill in all of Sabonis's gaps. Yeah, I definitely think that there's a possibility that it's just further down the line. I just, to the texter's own point, I think it's just not the time for that conversation. I'm not saying that you're crazy for having those thoughts. I just think right now is not the time for the Kings to consider moving on from Domas. But I do think when we talk about, okay, this team is starting to hit their heads on the ceiling again, what's the pivot? I think the pivot very well could be Domantas Sabonis, because this league just isn't really as much as Jokic and Embiid are MVPs and Jokic winning a title, I just don't think necessarily that this is a centers league anymore.
All right, Nate, we got him?
No.
Still don't think so.
No, you gave me a thumbs up. What was the thumbs up for?
Peek behind the curtain. I sent you a text, and I thought you were giving me the nod of.
No, I'm just looking at you. I'm doing a show here.
Yeah, no, I'm just having a good time back here. I'm just thumbs up. You're having a great show. We're having a good show.
All right.
That's plain and simple.
We're waiting it out.
Should we just
well, this is crazy because last time they were on the money. And I think we should
it was 1 o'clock. Literally, yeah. What the Malik press conference was at 11, and I think they were at the podium speaking at 11 sharp.
Yeah, let's do an audible here. I know this isn't my show, guys,
No,
but I'm running the board back here.
You control the mic.
Should we just do the giveaway right now?
I think we should just
let's do the giveaway right now. We'll take a very quick break right after 90 seconds. Come back and we'll have hopefully DeMar will be out by then. But yeah, let's do our giveaway.
All right, let's do it right now. Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner, is coming to Sacktown, and we want to get you in the building next Friday for the 38 special experience. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number 4. Caller number 4, caller number cuatro to score that pair of tickets. Check an unforgettable night of Southern Rock courtesy of Thunder Valley Casino Resort. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com, 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140 to see Lou Graham, original voice of Foreigner. Caller number 4, caller number cuatro, and they are coming in right now. So Nate is going to handle that as we continue to patiently wait for DeMar DeRozan. Maybe Vivek has him in the back just with more jokes. Hey, I got another one for
He's
you.
like, hey, yeah, when you go out there, make fun of the nothing like us thing. Like, do it, and then it just, we'll just double down on it.
Yeah. Hey, I was thinking about this as well.
Yeah.
Any other songs that you think I could reference throughout the season? Let's do it.
Yeah. Maybe he'll do specifically the D-Rose came home. What was it? Y'all didn't deserve him neither or something. Maybe he can do something like that. I'm expecting from the Kings team store a nothing like us t-shirt with the DeRozan picture of him in the video.
All right, we're getting to break, and when we get back, we believe that DeMar DeRozan will be at the podium. If he's not, we'll still be here. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives are spent sleeping? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water reel.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
You will have another chance to win tickets to see Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner, all week long. But we do have a winner. And we do have DeMar DeRozan. And we are going to get you to that press conference right now.
start by thinking a lot of people had a big part in this. DeMar's agent, Aaron Goodwin, great partner through this to get DeMar here. Obviously, Vivek, Matina, Coach Brown, the rest of our coaching staff, Wes Wilcox, Phil Jabor, Paul Johnson, our front office. A big group effort, but obviously the star of the show here is this guy to my right. And I'll give a quick intro, though he probably doesn't need one, but 6-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA. DeMar is somebody who everywhere he's gone has made an impact on winning, and we're excited that that's going to be here in Sacramento for the foreseeable future. So I'll turn it over to DeMar for a few words, and we'll take some questions.
Thank you. It's beyond an honor to be able to be a part such of, uprising franchise. The want that they showed, going in free agency was amazing. I ain't gonna lie. It always felt good to be wanted somewhere, and from day one, they showed that. So it's an honor to be able to represent this organization and build on what this organization's been doing the last couple of years. It's something special. I definitely want to be a part of it, and I want to be one of those guys that hit the beam to light up at night. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Looking forward to playing with this young, exciting, talented team. Great coaching staff. It's amazing. Last couple of days, that's all I kind of been thinking about is, putting on this jersey, representing the city, hearing the fans scream as loud as y'all can. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. It's going to be an exciting year. I'm definitely going to work my butt off more than ever, to make sure, the city get what it deserves.
All right.
Hey, y'all, can you hear me?
Yep.
Monty, I'll start with you. Really, what does it mean for you to land somebody like him in your time here in Sacramento, and just maybe the importance of this moment for your tenure with the Kings?
Well, I think it's for the organization to land somebody of DeMar's stature is just incredible. I think it speaks to what we've been building here, and especially the last couple of years. De'Aaron, Domas, Keegan, on and on down the line. Obviously Malik, re-signing here, and but also speaks to DeMar. I think somebody who is always about winning, and I think, as we've said, like winning is going to bring people in. So I think this is a great testament to that, and hopefully more and more winning to come.
And for you, DeMar, if someone had told you a month ago that you'd be sitting here in Sacramento as the newest member of the Sacramento Kings joining this franchise, would you have believed him?
No, I would not. And sometimes that's the beauty of life, honestly. You never know what's going to happen, and sometimes the greatest thing happened unexpectedly. So, be here in this position, definitely want to make the most of it.
DeMar, welcome to Sacramento. I just wonder what you kind of heard over the years about this city, Kings fans, the way they embrace the team and the players, and how it felt to walk out here the other night and receive that ovation.
I remember playing at the old arena, when they had the cowbells and all that. But
still got them.
Yeah, still got them. All right, cool. But to get the reception I got the other night was amazing. Like I said, over the last couple of years playing against the Kings, it's been tough coming in this building. You feel it. It's not many arenas in this league where when you walk in, you feel the atmosphere, you feel the tension in the air, feeling like you are on the road when you're a road team. So to be able to get that reception the other night, it's amazing. It's the respect, the love that's already shown. Had me hungry. I think I left there that night and, went straight to the gym when I got back home. So, just the drive, the hunger, the passion that the fans show, you definitely just want to give it back.
couple for you here, DeMar. Welcome to Sacramento, first off.
Thank you.
Can you walk us through whatever you can, your Saturday as a whole, from arriving to getting to the moment of with the fans?
Yeah, it was big. I just wanted to come here more so than anything and just check out the facility, meet the staff, meet front office, just kind of get a feel, instead of, just going back and forth, talking with my agent. I just want to get a feel for myself of everything, so I flew here, sat Coach Brown office, we watched a little of the G League game, sat there and talked. De'Aaron came in, we sat there and talked. Doug Christie came in and we sat there and talked. So everybody just kept coming in the room. We just sat there and talked. So, but it was a great feel. Everything was genuine. Everything was real, and everything was about the betterment of how we can make this franchise grow. And I left middle of the day. I just wanted to get it done, and kind of get the relief off my shoulders. And that's what happened. Everything was just genuine from that day. And, we was in the back eating, and all of a sudden I just heard, let's go outside, the fans out there. Next thing you know, when we walked out and got the reception that we got, and that was kind of like the icing on the cake, for me, that just made me feel like I made the right decision.
And then yourself and De'Aaron have been battling back and forth for Clutch Player of the Year over the last couple of seasons.
Him that. I told him I was mad 2 years ago that he got it and I didn't get it. But yeah, we definitely been battling. And, just with that there, me being the competitor that I am, I sit and watch, a lot of those moments. And I think even in Chicago, I remember he had a game winner on us in Chicago. I kind of made it a thing. This past season when we played here, I think we was losing by like 20. I made it a thing in the fourth quarter to make sure we won, just in case we was head to head and in that battle again. But to see someone as special as him, I've been following him since he was in college. See the amazing things he's able to do. Just being a part of that could be special.
DeMar, you just mentioned that you didn't know if this would be a possibility a month ago. When did the light go off? When you just like, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be part of the Sacramento Kings.
Like I said, just the want, just the expression of being wanted, needed, to do something bigger than just me. And at the end of the day, I'm all for winning. I just want to win at the highest of levels. And me being able to be a part of something a team may be missing to help them take them over that hump. That's all I needed to see, and that was what was expressed to me from day one. And as a competitor, that's all you need.
DeMar over here, welcome to Sacramento. This team's really had an uprising over the past couple of years. You're being talked about as somebody that can help propel this team into contention, and obviously a really stacked Western Conference. How flattering is that for a person of your caliber to perhaps be that catalyst for a young team on the rise?
Man, I love it. I love it. I love a challenge. I love the excitement that come with it. And when you're a competitor, you want to be in the best where the best is at. And like you said, the Western Conference is stacked with that. You get tested every single night, and you work for those moments so it can bring the best out of you. So I'm overly looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Monty, this franchise over the last 40 years kind of has a stigma about getting big-time free agent signings. How big is this for you and your group to be able to bring in one of the top-tier guys in this year's free agent class?
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's, I don't know, for us personally, that's just our job. But I think for the organization, for somebody of DeMar's stature, look, when you're a free agent, you get to choose where you go. And for somebody like that to choose our team, I think it just speaks to what we're building here. And, this is a great city. It's a great organization. We have incredible fans. But number one, we've been winning. I think us and Denver are the only two teams that have won 46 or more in the West the last 2 years. It's an incredibly tough West. But, hopefully that's part of what DeMar saw here, and that we can have, even bigger dreams in the future.
Yeah, DeMar, sort of the same question. Just what is it about this fit that you felt like, okay, I'm willing to take a gamble where so many other players in the past haven't?
How many times I've seen that beam lit up when I was chilling at home, especially being on Central Time. You know, me watching, I watch every NBA game. So, like I said, you just always seeing something lit up. And it's like, God damn, what's the significance of pushing this button? You know, but like I said, winning solves all. And that's one thing I always express to guys that I play with that, you know, want to be all-stars, who want to get paid, blah, blah, blah. Everything that winning solves everything. You know, and you want to be a part of winning. You want to be a winner. You want to be known as a winner. So for me, that's just, you know, that's the most appealing thing for me. You know, and you see it every single night when this team plays. It's all about winning.
Monty, obviously the excitement with over here, sorry. The excitement with bringing in DeMar, also some sadness with letting HB have to leave this organization. What was that conversation like when you told him that he was going to be the other part of this trade?
Yeah, obviously Harrison, I think along with De'Aaron, one of the two guys that's been here since I came aboard, and incredible competitor, obviously meant so much to this community. And I think it was fantastic that Harrison got to be a part of the team that broke the playoff drought here, had some incredible moments here in SAC, and he's going to have incredible moments going forward. So we wish him the best, but just obviously an incredible player, even better human, and happy to have crossed paths with him. Wish him the best going forward.
He's fine. I talked to Harrison yesterday, so he's fine. He was asking me about places in San Antonio. So
DeMar, how important was De'Aaron's voice in this recruitment process? And just from a basketball perspective, how do you just view this fit on the court?
I mean, it definitely was big. You know, De'Aaron and Malik was, you know, one of the first two people to text me about it. And, you know, just their whole approach, you know, through the text messages, you know, it just felt genuine. It felt the want. And that was the cool part, because at the end of the day, I told De'Aaron, you know, yesterday, I've been a fan of his game since college. You know, obviously me being a fan of the game, I pay attention to all these guys. So for them reaching out, you know, hearing their point of view with me coming and how much it could help, not just the team, but them personally, you know, things like that means a lot. From a basketball fit perspective, I always prided myself feeling like I could play with anybody. You know, I try to go out there and make everybody else's job easy. You know, do whatever it takes to win. I never overly complicate anything. I just really feel like I go out there and play with anybody.
All right. Hey, DeMar. Way back here, man.
How you doing?
Welcome to Sacramento.
Thank you.
This is kind of a two-part question. First of all, you talked about playing in Arco Arena, how loud it was, and just the electricity of the fans and the beam and all of that stuff. So what is your overall impression of Sacramento? And is there anything in particular you're looking forward to doing out here? And then the second part of that question is, a lot of Kings players have theme songs per se when they make a basket or do certain things on the court. What would you say your song would be when that happens?
To answer your first question, one, you see the passion in the fans more so than anything. Just on the outside looking in, that's all you always seen is just the fans outside the arena. The fans, you know, I'm talking about the beam again, taking videos of the beam in the sky. You know, you just see the passion and love for their team. You know, and that goes a long way. You know, it's hard to find, you know, overly dedicated fans that been through the ups and downs with a franchise, and this is one of those fan bases that been through everything, you know. And to your second part, my theme song, I have no clue. I hope somebody pick a great theme song for me.
DeMar over here, maybe it'll be They're Not Like Us, huh? Bringing Kendrick with you.
Yeah.
You don't miss games. You average about 24, 25 a game. But your passing over the last several years has been one of the more overlooked and understated part of your package. How do you see that fitting in with the offense that Mike and Jay draw?
I mean, when you got a young shooter like Murray, the way he shoots the ball is incredible. Everything is overly fitting for me in a sense of my playmaking to make my job a lot easier, you know, and those components they go together well. and that's one thing I've been conscious of over the last couple of years of my career is just being able to be somebody that can make my teammates better, make their life a lot better as well, because once I do that, it makes my job a lot easier, and those two go hand in hand once you really get the rhythm of that, and I take pride in, trying to bring the best out of my teammates, and not just about me, just scoring and shooting the ball. I really try to get everybody involved and, give them a different confidence that go a long way.
DeMar, during the course of your career, most of the time you've been usually playing the two, but now that Harrison is gone and a lot of people might look at you as a three, have you played much three in your career, or do you look forward to that, or how do you slide between the two and the three as you move forward?
I mean, I played in the league when it was two bigs out there, and then three was 6'9". Now, the game has changed. And one thing about that, I try to adapt and adjust need be. I really don't look at it like it's a position thing. I look at it as a fit thing, whatever is needed for a night, any given night. I never really put too much thought on a position, because nowadays you got, centers playing point guard in this league. So, for me, I try to be like water, be shapeless, formless, and be able to adjust to anything.
Monty, how much better does DeMar make the Kings just by virtue of the fact that he gets to the line, he makes free throws, and he doesn't turn the ball over?
Well, I think the exciting thing for us is, adding DeMar. We're able to, bring Malik back, which is a big part of our offseason. Obviously, Alex Len, Jordan McLaughlin, and all the guys we got coming back. And then you add somebody of DeMar's stature. And I think, like he said, his ability to fit in so many different, between Toronto, San Antonio, Chicago, he's played, back to USC internationally. So that passing, I think, as Mark brought up, is a hugely overlooked part of his game that he's grown the last few years. We were talking on Saturday, and I told him it's just been so impressive. I mean, he came into the league, he was a huge athlete, high flyer, get to the rim, dunk, and now he's, added the passing, added this mid-range, incredible touch all over the floor. And then defensively, I don't know what position, 2, 3, 4, like he's got how he takes care of his body. So all those things I think are going to fit in seamlessly. And I think his accolades and what he's done in his career speak for itself. So, at a 6-time All-Star here, I don't know where it takes us. But I think adding a guy like him, we feel we're better. We feel we can compete with anybody in the West. And so that's going to be our mindset.
DeMar, you mentioned the conversation that you had with Mike Brown. How do you see the relationship with him going, playing for him, and what do you like about that potential partnership?
I'm looking forward to it. Since I've been in the league, playing against him, respect level that I have for him since he's been in the league, paying attention to, everything he's done. The respect is there, and it goes both ways. So with that, I pride myself on being one of the most coachable guys, whatever is needed, however it's needed, I try to be the guy that you always could count on. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a piece of cake. I remember seeing a video, I don't know if it was last year or something, when he was running sprints with the team. And I was like, that's the type of person you want to play for.
DeRozan. And really everybody, Sacramento media always does their thing. A lot of great questions there. Whether Not Like Us will be played. That was, of course, one. Mark Jones, Chris, some of the initial takeaways. DeMar, what I'm looking at my watch, it's only 91 degrees today, but both invest is crazy work.
Yeah, that's nuts.
They were both, and maybe
DeMar had
Monty,
the sweatshirt on under it, too.
Right. Maybe when they first linked up, we're both wearing vests.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing like us, that's for sure.
Like
we are
us.
not built like them.
All right, we're going to get to a break and recap everything you just heard. Don't go anywhere. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, a special Sacramento Kings broadcast. The California Classic from the Golden One Center, featuring the Charlotte Hornets and your Sacramento Kings. Tip-off at 7 p.m. on your local sports leader, Sacktown Sports 1140.
I always do my best to prep for summer, but sometimes things just come up. And when they do, Kohl's and their great prices are always there for me. I just shot their summer cyber sale and saved big on everything I was missing, like summer must-haves under $15, floor care essentials for 50% off, and kitchen appliances for 30% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash. So no matter what happens the rest of the summer, I'll be ready. Thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Slash presents Serpent Festival, a celebration of the blues. Friday, July 12th at the venue at Thunder Valley, starring Slash, Warren Haynes Band, Samantha Fish, and Eric Gales.
It's gonna be a steep climb.
Don't miss an all-star night of blues, Friday, July 12th at the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Serpent Festival.
I'm a very active person that likes to move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. It was actually debilitating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
18 number ones.
What was I thinking?
Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now, Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by Bonnie Electrical Heating and Air and the U.S. Marines. Get ready for the Kia Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. This is your chance to make it a summer to remember with incredible deals on select 2024 Sportage and Sorento vehicles. Kia Vacaville is offering an amazing 1.9% APR for up to 48 months for well-qualified buyers. Or you'll get $1,000 bonus cash on specialty tag 2024 Sportage and Sorento models. It's the perfect time to upgrade your ride and start your summer adventures. Imagine cruising down the highway in your new Kia from Kia Vacaville, enjoying the advanced features and comfort of the Sportage or Sorento. Whether you're planning a road trip or just driving around town, these vehicles are designed to elevate your experience. But don't wait too long. These unbeatable deals won't last forever. Your adventure starts now at Kia Vacaville, where every journey is an adventure. Visit them today and find the perfect vehicle for your summer plans. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia Vacaville for more details.
Now here's what I want you all to do for me.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
DeMar DeRozan. Great stuff.
You're going fast on the DeRozan for your call? You're going long DeMar, quick DeRozan?
That's just what I felt at the time.
Where's the swamp?
DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, I got it. I'm throwing in some old Detroit Pistons. I'm going DeMar DeRozan. Does that sound too stupid? Do I sound stupid doing that? It was going to be borderline of either like, dude, that's sick. It got me hyped, or it was.
I think in your head it was cool, and then when it came out, you're like, "Oops, I made a mistake."
How about DeMar
I think it helps if there's a crowd.
DeRozan? I think that's it.
Yeah, mine was way better.
You know what's crazy? The Beam is recruiting players to come.
Dude,
here.
I definitely
That's what
wrote
he
Beam
said.
like 4 different times.
I wrote
in that press
my notes right here on YouTube. You can see it.
Yeah,
If
it
you're
says
driving it says Beam Invest.
Yeah, the dude
Beam
Invest. He's like, it inspired me to come here, sitting on the couch watching that Beam be lit.
I
at
want to
night.
light it.
It's like, dang, all right.
Yeah.
There's just these players out there watching their TV, shaking their. I'm gonna light them.
Yeah, I want to light that beam. He said he went back. Some of the takeaways that I had, Chris, is he really wanted to give back to the city when he got that initial welcome during the Summer League game. He went back to the gym when he got back home from Sacramento and just got back to work. He really wants to win. He kept saying, besides Beam and wearing a vest, he kept saying winning.
Yeah.
I think that he
mentioned
enjoyed
the city a lot.
Mentioned the city a lot. Mentioned the fans a lot. Mentioned De'Aaron Fox and Keegan Murray, and he's done his homework. Of course he has, if he's choosing to stay here for the next couple years. And the bottom line is they made the play-in the East, right? And they messed around a little bit. Chicago did. They made a little bit of noise, if you want to call it a squeak, really. And he was tired of it. And he wanted to go somewhere that not only could he win, he could have everything. He could have the money that he wanted. He could be closer to his family, and he could be in a more competitive situation, but he wouldn't have to sacrifice what he does. Those are the 4 horsemen of what convinced DeMar DeRozan to pick the Sacramento Kings. Great stuff. Great stuff. Great questions, too, by the media.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm sure someone will have some problems with it, but I thought it was great. I think we got all the answers we wanted out of DeMar. I mean, I think, he can only answer certain questions a certain amount of times in a certain amount of ways, but it was cool to hear the inside of, I know we got the Anthony Slater article the other day, but hearing out of his mouth how Saturday went, saying he sat in Mike Brown's office, De'Aaron comes in, Doug comes in. I thought it was really cool to hear him talking about even before that, the recruiting process, saying that Sacramento was really the thing that attracted him the most was their initial interest in him and just how quickly they showed the interest and just the entire pitch in general. He sounded like he was really impressed by it, which is something I think that shouldn't be taken for granted. I mean, there's tons of different stories of, teams trying to get packages and PowerPoints together to show players, and it just ends up hurting them more with embarrassing themselves with their information that they give. And I think clearly the Kings had a really good presentation that definitely knocked DeMar's socks off. I just thought it was great hearing him talk about Malik and De'Aaron texting him early in the process, that getting him excited about it. I think it's really clear that the Kings this is not, I think initially when these reports came out that the Kings were interested in DeMar, a lot of people said this is desperation. This is the Kings looking at the other options and saying, I don't think we can get those other options, so we're going to settle for DeMar. Everything that they have said, and even DeMar's comments, have told me that's not the case. This was a priority for them. You could say Lauri Markkanen was the only name that we've heard that they tried to attract or tried to really, really kick the tires on. But it's clear that once that wasn't the option, there was no, I think we're going to see Kyle Kuzma and then we're going to compare all the deals and see which one we like most. No, they said, Lauri, we have a certain deal for Lauri. We're going to give you a time frame for it, 24 hours. 24 hours come. You don't want to do the deal. We're moving on to DeMar. I love that it's a clear action plan, and I love that it seems like, Mike Brown in his introductory press conferences all those years ago said we need horizontal and vertical alignment from people who are ushers all the way up to Vivek and all the way in between. Everyone needs to be pulling on the same string. I think it's very clear that with this acquisition, everyone was on the same train, that DeMar was the priority to get, and I think that that's a really big success for this organization.
Coming up next, we continue the conversation. The Drive guys are on location, so no crosstalk. But what that does mean is that we can keep the phone lines open a little bit longer if you have any initial reactions to the DeMar DeRozan press conference. Are you re-hyped? Are you re-hyped from this weekend? DeMar DeRozan is in the building, and he wants to hang out at Frank Fats, and he wants to hang out at Doko.
And he wants to light the beam.
And he wants to light that beam over and over and over again and wear the DPOG chain crown, whatever in the world it is this season. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of innovative, newly designed tires, like the Bigfoot AT2 with improved all-terrain traction, and the Legacy All-Season Plus that keeps you on the road in any weather, with every set backed by our ProTech Plus warranty.
And right now, get $80 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Now through July 28th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. No carry-outs, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spa's Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
Sponsored by Xfinity Internet. Enjoy ultimate control of your home network. Personalize your Wi-Fi name and password. Assign user profiles. View and control connected devices and more with the Xfinity Internet app.
Great stuff from DeMar DeRozan, from Monty McNair, the Vest Buddies. Also from there was a crowd, Chris? There was clapping for sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, Monty instructed them to clap, but last time...
There were a lot of people there. Some voices I did not recognize.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, there was a couple questions in there from some suspect voices, but I know that they have a good amount of team personnel, like the sales team and stuff will come out for the big press conferences. And, I think it's not typical for the media to clap for any sort of sign.
Yes, that's what I was. Yeah, you got to stay objective here. But Ken doesn't. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Ken, who wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Ken? What you got for us?
Oh, what to do, gentlemen? What to do? I'm just going to be real quick, man. I called in yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be really quick, man. Like I said yesterday, my point is proven. You just mentioned it. Fans, are you happy now? Just because he got on the mic and spoke the words that he spoke of positivity. These are the things that we should be thinking about when we look at the player from the gate. You know what I'm saying? We should have been looking at him like, man, he's going to bring everything he said to the floor, man, to Sacramento. And I listen to you guys. I listen to the morning show. I listen to the mid-afternoon. I listen to the evening show. And you guys are doing your job. You guys do that tech talk. You know what I'm saying? The tech talk, what I mean is like, you guys got the ball is going to be taken out of De'Aaron's hands. He's not going to have opportunities to score. But listen, he's going to have opportunities to score because, like DeRozan said, it's going to be easier for him in moments during the game because he's going to be a big help. And it's like, it's like when you play basketball with your by yourself, you don't have your brother. Your brother's just as good as you, right? But then when you play by yourself, you score, you play good, your team win. But when you play along with your brother, teams don't like to play against you. Because why? Because you play well with your brother. You know what I'm saying? You play at a different form because you have learned to communicate, and that's what I've heard today. You said that De'Aaron has had communication with DeRozan prior to him coming to Sacramento. He's spoken to Malik. He's spoken to the team in depth. You know what I'm saying? As far as what they want, as far as when he comes to Sacramento, this guy is going to be a motivator to the team. Just like you said, he's going to motivate the team in different ways that we're not talking about, in different ways that we can't foresee. You know what I'm saying? Locker room, you know what I'm saying? During moments during the game, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, Sacramento, you should have been happy from the gate. Like I said, Sacramento sometimes hard to satisfy, but listen, Sacramento, we got a winner right here.
There you go.
Biscuit.
There you go,
man.
Thank you, Ken.
Communicate. I love y'all. I'm dropping the mic, man. Gone.
Great stuff, Ken. Preach, Ken.
Ken.
Preach, Ken. There is something to say about that synergy. And when you hear DeMar DeRozan say that De'Aaron Fox called him and all these guys were coming into the room, it was just one after the other after the other. And then they went to lunch, and then they did the work. They did the workout. Then they went to lunch. And it's going to take a while for this synergy to get there. Yeah. But there are the legit big threes that we have question marks about, where the Suns, for example, it just hasn't really clicked. Do Devin Booker and KD, do they ever kick it? Do they ever hang? I haven't seen anything.
Not a single vibe.
Have they worked out? No. I have not seen any. Bradley Beal, I don't. He's just on his pile of money. I don't know what they do, right? But I can't speak to everything that the Suns are doing, but when you see this isn't the black and white. We're just adding in a random dude, and there's no synergy. There's nothing. There seems to already be that chemistry, which I think, to Ken's point, you cannot quantify. Yeah. Sometimes it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes, or for this example, it would be the De'Aarons and the DeRozans and the Keegans and the Sabonises. So I really appreciate that out of Ken, and I do think that sometimes we can talk about the X's and O's, and sometimes you can talk about just the vibes, right? And getting a combination of both is exactly what I think the Kings are hoping to do. The question is, Chris, how long is it going to take for them to get there? Because the hope is that it doesn't take all season long.
No, I definitely wouldn't think so. I mean, I really think that, to your point of Jimmys and Joes instead of X's and O's, I definitely think that, DeMar seems like the kind of guy who he's not your typical star. Like, if we're bringing in Brandon, well, maybe not Brandon Ingram, because as we said, we don't know anything about Brandon Ingram, the person. But if you're bringing in Kevin Durant, you're bringing in Jimmy Butler, you're bringing in even Kyle Kuzma, those guys have a bit of an ego to them. Yeah. They have a bit of, oh, I'm a scorer. I do this. This is how I am. This is what people know me for. DeRozan is, of course, a ridiculous scorer. And, I'm sure on the floor, he's selfish in good ways in terms of, hey, I know I got this. Let me kind of take care of this. But he's somebody who clearly does not walk in and say, this is my team, Fox. Like, okay, I know you've been rolling, but they brought me in here because clearly you weren't doing what needed.
Exactly.
That doesn't exist with DeMar DeRozan. And I think that's the thing that makes me feel so positively about this just not being a chemistry issue. I think these guys are going to work seamlessly because they have the right attitude for it. And as cliche and corny as that might sound, I do really think that the mentality of these guys is something that's going to put them over the top of those other kind of big threes, is the fact that these guys are not selfish, don't have egos, and legitimately are here to win. They are gamers. They don't really care about ego and who's getting the most shine and who's getting the most money. They just want to win. And DeMar is at a stage in his career at age 34 where he doesn't have much avenue for winning. He's going to try and get every single ounce of this he can.
You talk so much about the negatives, or we talk so much about the negatives of age, but I do think that's one of the positives. Absolutely. If you truly think that this is De'Aaron Fox's opportunity in year 8, Chris, something going into year 8, this is your opportunity to be an elite number 1 with an elite number 2. Yep. This is somebody who he knows his role, but he knows that you are the guy. Some of these younger guys, to your point, there could have been some push and pull. This is exactly what the Kings wanted. It's up to De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, and the crew to find a way to get it done. And I don't think Monty is done yet, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow. You have the Drive guys coming up next. Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper, they're live from Golden One. Go say hi to them if you run into them. We'll also be carrying the California Classic. That's after the Drive guys, so you don't want to miss any of that here on the flagship for your Sacramento Kings. Until tomorrow, thank you to Nate. Thank you to all the callers, the texters, the Sack Chatters. This has been Stiles and Watkins. Until tomorrow, secure the bag, light the beam.
The NFL's lead